Sir, you're charged with especially aggravated kidnapping. You're also charged with aggravated assault, and you're charged with theft of a firearm worth less than $2,500.
You're talking about stuff that is not relevant.
Hello and welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict, and boy do I have a case for you today.
Why is the dog chewing on this guy?
I think they have got the wrong guy there.
Got the wrong guy, and the dog was biting him.
He roughing him up quite a bit. There's a lawsuit.
9 out of 10 judges prefer watching the Recovery Addict live stream in their courtroom.
The fireworks are not done.
Now we're getting commentary on the case.
Literally not true.
Not him, he Anglican, he's Fairmont Latino. I didn't ask you to interrupt me.
Is that correct?
Oh, for Trump's sake.
Good morning, welcome to the Court of Public Opinion. I am the Recovery Addict. Happy Tuesday. Apologize for being just a teensy bit late this morning, but we're trying to get some issues fixed, and I would be remiss if I did not give a shout out to a company this morning, so I'll do that in just a second. Let's see. I don't know who was first. Let's see. Scrolling up. Someone has to own up. Don't lie. Just tell the truth. Who was first? Not me, says Paula Mack. 'Twas me, says Legally Blonde. 'Twas me. How can somebody be lying if they say 'twas? Legally Blonde, congratulations, you were first in chat because of that. And it was confirmed by Red Pen, who would never tell an untruth or spell anything incorrectly. We're sentencing you. We're punishing you. Yes, you did a good thing. You were here first, and we're going to punish you for doing that. Everything IP-related worldwide is now your responsibility. Yes. If it uses internet protocol to communicate, you are now the fixer of said thing. Congratulations. Good riddance. Good luck. You're going to do great. Were you stuck at the Waffle House? No, I'm not going to give them a shout-out. Not that. Lots of things going on today. Lots of things. Donna Adelson, jury selection has begun. That process is underway. The judge is, reading things. There are going to be questions. It's carried live. We're not going to listen to the jury selection. I don't think that will help us at all. The reason why I say is that case is confusing enough with so many players and so many people and family members that were involved and had their fingers in the pie that us getting to know the jury is not going to help us understand the Adelson case.
I'm not going to argue about semantics.
That's a call I made. I apologize. There are lots of great places that are showing at Trail TV Live. Brandy Churchwell has it. I think Broken Baker. Lots of our great friends here on YouTube in the world of LawTube and LawTube adjacency are working that. So if you're just into jury selection, I would not blame you at all for going and watching that. That's great. Other things. Let's see. We've got Judge Cedric Simpson,
this is not Burger King. People do not
who is going to have Mr. Magoo coming up here in a minute. We're watching that. We'll bring that to you as that happens. Let's see. I think that's on 8, right? Is that 8? Yeah, we've got 8. Okay. Cedric Simpson's on 8.
Hi, be next door.
Really?
Yeah, we're not going to go to him yet. We're not ready. Let's see. We also have the trial we're following, which I think this Georgia trial, this dismemberment trial, cold case, I think it's nearing the end of the case. So that's going to be cool. And then we have birthdays to celebrate. And after birthdays, remind me, I have to do a company shout out really quickly. They deserve it. I spent the morning on tech support, and I just need to, when it's bad, I tell you. When it's good, I'm also going to tell you. This was a good one. All right. Where are we? Birthdays. Joshua, Wendy by proxy, and Rick are celebrating their birthdays today. That means they got, the chat is in my screen. Sorry, it's on screen now. I just barely turned it on. I apologize. For missing it. Legally Blonde, I'll go back and try to tag your message to let you know. You can screenshot it. Yeah, but who can make chat work on my MacBook? That's you. Literally, that's you. Call yourself, see if you can fix the problem. Yeah, the jury selection is not the most exciting thing to watch. It's just not. But it's going to be exciting once the court starts. All right. Sure, birthday peeps knew to skip Waffle House and come here for French toast, says Colleen. I'm missing the birthday peeps. I had them a second ago, and I deleted it. There's the party sound. Wait. I'm going back up. I lost it. Mods, can you help me out again? Oh, there it is. I found it. Josh, thank you. All right, let's celebrate the birthdays, and then we'll get going with all the things we need to talk about. It's one of those, we hurry up and wait, right, in the world of true crime. We're like, oh, this case is coming up, this case is coming up, we're waiting for this filing, we're waiting for this decision from the judge. Today is one of those days where everything happens at once, and we're just here for it. So let me focus, and that way I won't be blurry. All right, this is how it works. Everybody join with me. Stand up wherever you are. Take a deep breath. Shoulders back. Project your voice to the back of the room. Blend your voice with your neighbor. And warm up with me, if you will. La, 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 la. That was close. That was close. We sort of had to tune it there at the end. We're going to sing Happy Birthday to Joshua, Wendy by proxy, and Rick. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joshua, Wendy by proxy, and Rick. Happy birthday to you. Joshua, Wendy by proxy, and Rick, today is your special day. I realize there are a million places you could have been, and a million people you could have celebrated with, but you chose to be here with us. The privilege, the pleasure, the honor, the joy is ours. Hopefully we can return. Oh, I've got another name. Hang on. Hopefully we can turn some of that joy back to you and make your day a little more special. Or begin by helping yourself to free pancakes at Denny's, IHOP, Village Inn, Tammy Dunlap's house, Bob Evans, McDonald's, Andy's Grill, and Cracker Barrel. And now we're going to include Katie. Little interlude. Katie gets her own verse here at the end because she was a late ad. You guys can add your names to the birthday list before today. You guys know that. You don't have to add it at the last minute and just test my skills. I took that out. I took Waffle House. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Katie. Happy birthday to you. There you go. Katie, you're included with Joshua, Wendy by proxy, and Rick as a celebratory member for the birthday club today. Free pancakes at all the places. If you choose to go to Waffle House, let me just say it is on you. And can I just say, stay off the roof, please. Stay off the roof. We have a song we might play. Anyway, all right. Here we go. Drum solo for the finish. Oh, not yet. Now we go. Last verse. Dancers are doing the dancing thing. It's looking good. Beautiful, beautiful. Do you want to make the song? Let me give you the proper disclaimer about the song before I play anything. Let me do this. I was thinking to myself as my mouse stops working. Thank you. I'll just unplug my keyboard and plug in my mouse. I don't need keyboards now. Oh, now I need a keyboard. Suno. There it is. No keyboard needed. I was thinking, completely hypothetical. This idea just popped into my head. And it was like, wouldn't it be funny if there was a situation where there's like a manager at Waffle House who, I don't know, let's call him Tim for lack of any other name, who has game. I don't know how else to put this. He's got game. He's a bit of a ladies' man. And I was thinking, what would make this funnier? This completely just popped into my head. No. If there's any resemblance to some actual event, it's purely coincidental. What if there was like a Chinese restaurant across the street and a hotel in back, and it's like that was like his area where he sort of operated, so to speak. He ran the Waffle House, and then and he hit on the waitresses and things and took them to Chinese and then back to the hotel and up to the roof or something like that. It's like a weird dream I had. And I took these facts as these fictions, and I put them together in a new song about the Waffle House, and called it the Waffle House Romance. And I need to fix the audio so it doesn't do something funky here. On 7. We'll pop that off and turn this off and delete that. There we go. Just repairing the audio to be back where it should be. Okay, so there's the preface, okay? So just if this happened, then this would be a song that might be written about this fictional character in my head. Here we go.
Tim's got the keys to the Waffle House door. Flips the sign open at 4:15. He's a short order king with a heart of gold, but the stories they whisper ain't all been told. The girls in their aprons, the boys all grin. They say, ain't nobody smoother than Tim. Roof's got secrets stars can't hide. Egg rolls in hand and a kiss on the side. Backwoods Georgia where the night gets thin. Romance blooms neath the neon den. Compound chicken from the place across the street. Shared fortune cookies and a little deceit. Tim's got charm like sweet tea in July. He's a late night legend under the sky. Eggs on the griddle, hearts on a string. Tim's rooftop rendezvous is a thing. Roof's got secrets stars can't hide. Egg rolls in hand and a kiss on the side. Backwoods Georgia where the night gets thin. Romance blooms deep the neon den. Kung Pao chicken from the place across the street. Shared fortune cookies and a little deceit. Tim's got charm like sweet tea in July. He's a late night legend under the sky. Eggs on the griddle, hearts on a string. Tim's rooftop rendezvous is a thing. Roof's got secrets stars can't hide. Egg rolls in hand and a kiss on the side. Backwoods Georgia where the night gets thin. Romance blooms neath the neon den.
All right, another legendary song, ripped from the fictional headlines of my mind. There we go. Waffle House, Rooftop Secrets. I think we called that Waffle House Romance. But maybe change the name to Jim. I just thought of Tim just off the top of my head. That was it. Make it stop. Make it stop, Solar Michelle. Anyway, little rooftop rendezvous. Short order cook. It was one of my favorite lines. You gotta have a short order cook in that mix. So we'll go ahead and right now make that one published. And for the description, I'm just going to say order up. That's it. And then we're going to stop. All right, now back on to what we're supposed to be doing today, which is following court cases, and we have plenty to follow, as I'm keeping an eye still on Judge Cedric Simpson. Sorry, that's not where he's going to be. He's going to be here.
No, it's okay.
Because there he gets audio. We're also going to jump down to Georgia just as soon as we can. I don't think I've missed anything in that one, as we're waiting for... Oh man, let me tell you. Shell's shirt just arrived. Problem solved with blood stains all over it. That is awesome, Lee. That is just incredible. All right, can I see where we're at? There was a trial yesterday in Kansas we tried to grab, and they deleted it before we could get it. And I'm so sad about that. I'm so sad. Let's jump back to where we are in court, which just barely began a few minutes without us. We're late, but we're going to be picking up where we left off, and maybe I'll even do 1.25 speed. It's just there's so many things to do today. Let's do 1.25 speed so we'll catch up, and then we'll be good, right? Here, audio on. Are we good? Jump to that. There we go. Okay. All good. Now we're back. Who are you supposed to shout out? Oh, Black Magic Design. Black Magic Design. I called them up. I bought this from them. It was $695. I bought it in April, and I've been troubleshooting that buzzing sound in my system for months. I've narrowed it down to this. I replaced everything else. I narrowed it down to this. I called them up. I bought this in April and said, hey, I'm having a problem. This is what it's doing. I listed every troubleshooting thing I've done. And they said, okay, let me figure this out. And they went through the list, and they said, what about this? What about this? And I answered all their questions. They said, tell you what, we're going to send you a new one. It'll arrive tomorrow. And I said, yeah, the price has gone up $100 since I bought it. So, do I owe you anything? He said, nope, we're covering out all that. We're going to send you an RMA to get this one back. And it's just a done deal. So this was Sweetwater. Sorry, I said Black Magic Design. Black Magic Design is the product that was defective. I still love them. I already have one of these that works beautifully that we're actually using right now, and they're replacing this one. It's gonna be awesome. I don't know why we don't have audio. Could we get a little more on the sound, please? Let's wait for the judge. So Sweetwater, honoring their 2-year warranty, where they warranty things even the manufacturer doesn't cover, even though I bought this in April, and is sending me a brand new HyperDeck for recording, which will help when we're trying to save like Judge Simpson's court while we're watching something else that we also need to save. So a big shout out to Sweetwater. Sweetwater is my go-to source for electronics equipment for audio and video. I think we're waiting for people to show up. So we've got no sound yet. Judge wears her cape like a lab coat. Yes, and sometimes she takes it off. Let's see. And the candy they put in each order. Yes, when they say sweet, they mean it. They do package a little baggie of candy with every single order as a thank you. And stickers. They send stickers. Loads of stickers. What kind of accident did the defendant have? Swanee, I've heard that he had a climbing accident that injured his back, and it might have gotten progressively worse over time. Looks like the jury's coming in. Once they come in, maybe we'll get some audio. Yes, Sweetwater always sends stickers with their products. How do I know that? It's because you have stickers. Yeah, Sweetwater they've won me over. Add to the fact that they assign a salesperson to you, and he stays for years. And he knows what you've ordered, and he knows what's coming up, he knows what you're planning on. He's like, hey, how's that equipment working for you? They'll call you and just be like, hey, how's everything working? I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm just calling to say, look, we love you as a customer. I know you bought X, Y, and Z from us. Is everything working all right? Anything we can do to help? Like, you can't get customer service like that just anywhere. But Sweetwater, also not a sponsor. So married to a musician, well-versed with Sweetwater. They are more targeted to music than audio, video, content creating, things like that. I will say that the B&H Photo, which is my other favorite store out of New York, has been my go-to in the past, but they're not as customer-friendly as Sweetwater. And I'd rather special order something through B&H Photo than order it through, I'd rather special order something through Sweetwater than order something through B&H at this point. All right. But do they call Dwayne? They do not. They know my real name. And shout out to Charlton, my sales rep. Alexis gifted 5 memberships to kick things off this morning. Thank you very much. Sharon Ken Sharp, OG, 29 months on the jury. So we're getting sworn in, but we have no audio yet. It would be nice if we had audio soon. And Mary Lynch, welcome to the gallery. Sharon Ken Sharp, good morning to the channel that may always feel like family. Thank you very much. Wonderful to have you all here this morning. I'm just making sure I haven't messed something up here. We have no audio. No feed. Let me try another place. Let's see, Buffer. It's not you.
91, I started again in evening watch and morning watch, uniform patrol.
Now it's only
and
one year.
And then in 1992, I went into criminal investigations, and I remained in criminal investigations until I retired in 2020. Most of my time in criminal investigations, I worked crimes against persons, which is all types of assaults or missing persons can be included in that. And then in the later, probably 10 or 12 years, I focused more on crimes against women and children. So I was working sexual assaults and abuse of children, along with internet crimes against children.
And that is where you were working when you retired?
Yes.
Now, I want to take you back to the year 2000. Were you serving as a detective?
Yes.
And in the year 2000, what unit were you assigned to?
It's hard for me to say exactly. It would have been probably crimes against persons. We really didn't. I can't recall when we started the internet crimes against children and kind of branched it off, but they used to be kind of commingled before that.
And during that time, I think you just said that if there was a missing persons report, would that go to the crimes against persons unit?
Frequently, yes.
Tell the jury briefly about your job duties and responsibilities if you received a missing persons report.
So, depending on where the missing persons report originated, more often than not, it would be the Uniform Patrol Division. Then it would be, reviewed by their supervisors. It would come to the Criminal Investigation Division, where it would be assigned to an investigator. In that case, once it got to us, we would do what we could to contact possible witnesses, same in any other case, trying to gather additional information, or do what we could, make sure that they were entered into the national databases so that if they were contacted by a law enforcement in any other jurisdiction, they might be identified and we would be made aware of it. So those types of things. We would be trying to do what we could to do steps additional to whatever the uniform patrol officer may have done when they took the original report.
That is where Sweetwater is headquartered.
And with the missing persons report, are there times where there can be gaps in the investigation?
Chuck does it all.
Frequently, I would think. A lot of times with adults, you don't know if they willingly left or not. Many of them you might have suspicions or have some concerns about because of lack of contact with people whom they normally contact, things of that nature. So you can have different degrees of it. Some of them, don't draw a lot of attention, and most of them are resolved within a few days. Somebody shows back up. Then you do have some like this. They go on for a period of time. You have very little leads as to where the person may have gone, and you have few people, if any, who report to have any contact with them.
And you said in cases such as this, where you assigned a missing person investigation of a Melissa Wolfenbarger.
So I don't have the initial report going back that far, which would give me verification. Oftentimes, if cases go on for extended periods, more than one person could work on it. So I definitely was assigned to it or working on it in 2000, 2003. Whether it was initially my case from the beginning or my case the entire time that it was open, I can't say.
When did you first get involved in this missing persons investigation?
The report that I do have to review, it's around January of 2000 is when I was making some contacts and talking to people.
And in January of 2000, what were some of the first steps that you recall doing when you received the case or worked on the case?
I have some indications and reports. We're summarizing contacts with Melissa's parents, with Christopher's mother, sister, grandparent, his grandparents, and if there's anyone else I don't recall offhand.
Okay. And at that time, did you start in January of 2000? Based on the report that you
Yes.
did? Okay. So I want to kind of start chronologically, starting in January 2000. In January 2000, did you speak with first Norma Patton?
Yes.
And are you able to tell the jury when in January 2000 did you speak to Norma Patton?
That was January 12th.
At that time, when you spoke with Norma Patton, to your knowledge, was there any other missing persons report regarding Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Not that I'm aware of.
Now, are you able to tell from your report how you spoke with her? Was it on the phone, in person? Are you able to indicate?
On the phone.
Without telling me what your conversation was she able to provide you information regarding the last time she had met with or saw her daughter?
Yes.
Was she able to provide you information about Melissa's children?
Yes.
After speaking with Ms. Patton, what, if anything, did you do to look for relatives of Ms. Wolfenbarger?
So the police department has databases that include all the people that the police have encountered, throughout the year. So all those reports are entered in there. So I did checks like that. At later times, checks with persons from I think some type of Department of Labor, things like that, trying to find out if there's a record of them working somewhere, various things like that. But in this particular instance, right after speaking with Miss Norma Patton, then I looked into the police records to see if there might be anything I could associate with the family or with her.
And based on any of your leads, were you able to tell if Melissa had gotten any jobs after 1996?
I think 1996 is the last employment record I had.
Now, in October of 2000, what, if anything, did you do regarding your investigation into the missing persons report of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
I spoke to Kathy Wolfenbarger, I'm sorry.
And where did you meet with her, in person or over the phone or something else?
In person.
And where did you meet with her?
268 Lakeview Drive, Locust Grove, Georgia.
And did that appear to be her home?
Yes.
When you met with her, did you tell her why you were present?
Yes.
What did you tell her about why you were present?
That I was investigating a missing person involving Melissa.
What was her demeanor? Did you notate anything about her demeanor when you told her why you were present?
I noted that she was reluctant to talk to me about it initially, but as we spoke, she was able to overcome that and talk to me and provide some information.
Did she provide the information willingly or reluctantly?
Well, it was, like I said, noted originally that she was reluctant to talk to me about it, but then, of course, I'm going to try to overcome that and tell her that, her assistance is going to help with the investigation. So that's what I was trying to relay to her, and then eventually she did provide information about the family.
Okay. Did you notate in your report that she provided that information reluctantly?
Yes.
And what type of information was she able to provide for you?
This sounds like we're getting into hearsay now, Your Honor.
Not specifically, but what generally? Was she able to give you phone numbers? Was she able to give you other people you needed to talk to? Generally, what information was she able to provide?
Based on that, I'm going to let her continue. Go ahead.
She gave some general information about the family members. Didn't provide that I can recall or obtain from the notes any type of phone numbers or anything specifically on someone to contact.
Did you ask her specifically about information on Christopher Wolfenbarger?
I did speak to her about Christopher. Obviously wanting to speak with him and get his information.
And was she able to provide you any contact information for Christopher?
No.
You notated in your report that she was reluctant. Why was it important for you to notate that she was reluctant in your report?
There could be a number of reasons that somebody's reluctant to talk to us. So I just made a note of that. It could have some bearing on the information she provides or the circumstances that she might be involved with a particular case, something like that. It's just, it is relevant to us. It could have some bearing on it, but that's why it would be noted.
Okay. Taking you to February of 2001, did you have the occasion to speak with Mr. and Mrs. Patton?
Yes, I did.
And when did you speak with Mr. and Mrs. Patton?
February 22nd, 2001.
Excuse me. And did you speak with both Carl and Norma Patton at that time?
Yes, I did.
What, if anything, did you tell them about where you were in your investigation?
Speaking with them, I had not been able to speak to Christopher at that point, and that after talking to them, I informed them I would do a few things to see if I could generate some additional leads in the case. And that is when, in fact, we spoke to one of the representatives from the Georgia Department of Labor and obtained some work history for Christopher and Melissa.
Okay. And at this point, we're February of 2001, so is this about a year and 1 month after you initially spoke with Ms. Patton?
Yes.
And at that time, were they still concerned about their child's whereabouts?
Yes.
In February 2001, did you also speak with a Richard and Virginia Autry?
Yes.
Okay. And what date did you speak with them?
February 26, 2001.
And what was your understanding of who Richard and Virginia Autry were?
I understood them to be the grandparents of Christopher Wolfenbarger.
And did you speak with them in person or over the phone?
In person.
Okay. And where did you speak with them? Not necessarily the address, but was it their home or
their residence?
And did they provide you any information that assisted you in your investigation?
Yes, they did.
Were they able to provide you any contact information for Christopher?
They did provide some historical information that's about him and Melissa.
Okay. Did they provide you any, a contact phone number, address, or location where to find Christopher?
No.
And at this point in time, had Christopher reached out to you in this now year period to talk to you about Melissa and this missing person investigation?
No.
Taking you to September of 2001, what happened or what occurred in September 2001?
September, I did have a chance to interview Christopher Wolfenbarger at the Henry County Police Department.
Okay. And what date did you interview him?
September 12th, 2001.
And is this now approximately 18 months after the initial missing persons report?
Yes.
So this is not any new info. This is an old interview.
And at this time, when you met with Christopher, were you aware if any remains were found as related to Melissa Wolfenbarger?
No.
At this time, were you aware of any investigation or any body parts being found in Atlanta in 1999?
No.
Now, was this interview videotaped?
It was.
Okay. And at this point in time, was Mr. Wolfenbarger under arrest at all?
No.
Okay. And did he speak to you?
Yes, he did.
Now, have you had the opportunity to view this videotape in preparation for your testimony?
I did.
Now, tell the jury about the sound quality on this particular video.
So I did view the video, and the sound, at least on the device that I was listening to, is very difficult to hear for myself. I have a report, so I was reviewing the notes of it. It seems to correspond, but again, the audio is difficult for me to comprehend.
Okay. And have you had opportunity to listen to it and watch it in preparation for your testimony today?
I did.
All right. Permission to approach, Your Honor? Granted.
Oh, that's not a good start. When she's like, and tell the jury about the sound quality.
I'm going to put the Marcus States Exhibit 72. Tell me if you recognize this Exhibit 72.
This is, yes, I did.
How do you recognize it?
I initialed and dated it.
Is that the 2001 video that we were just referencing?
Yes, I did.
And does that video appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of the interview you conducted with Mr. Wolfenbarger in September 2001?
Yes, it did.
Do it appear to be any additions or deletions?
No.
Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit States Exhibit 76.
Mr. McDermott, Mr. Seaman?
No objection.
72 is admitted.
Thank
I
you.
object
And permission
to the bad
to
audio.
publish.
Permission granted.
Now, a lot of prosecutors tolerate some pretty bad audio and think it's good enough. If they say it's bad, it might be really bad. I'll do what I can to fix it.
70%. Connected to QATVL 54102682.
Feel like you get Benny in the courtroom. That'd be awesome.
Is this the interview? Is this pretty much the sound quality throughout most of the video? Okay. Did you take notes about your conversation with Mr. Wolfenbarger?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So when you met with him, was he able to give you kind of a history of when they first met?
Yes.
Okay.
That
What did he tell
recording
you
is a
about when they
crime.
first met?
He said that he first met Melissa when she was 15,
And did he tell you how he had met her?
He said that she had run away from home, but I don't recall any, details much beyond that.
And was he able to tell you whether or not they were married or not?
Yes.
Were they married?
Yes, they were.
Okay. And when did they get married?
And he said 1992 or 95.
Okay. He said 92 or 95.
And I noted 95, I believe, in my report, so I don't know if we clarified that.
Was he able to tell you if they had children?
Yes.
And how many children did he tell you that they had?
2.
Now, did he tell you about where they lived?
He did.
Okay. And where did he tell you that they lived?
I believe they were living with his mother at that time.
Did there ever come a time where they moved from his family's home?
I don't see a notation for that. I don't recall that.
Do you recall him telling you that they lived at 824 Brookline Street in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yes.
Okay. Is that contained within your report?
Yes.
Okay. Did he tell you about where he worked?
I think he did discuss some of his employment. Let me check the notes for clarification. Yes, he was working for a glass company.
And did he tell you what a glass company was?
I don't have a notation for that.
Okay.
Get the door.
You're on permission to approach?
Permission granted.
This, what I'm showing you, is that a copy of your report?
Yes, it is.
Is that a summary of your interview with Mr. Wolfenbarger?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I'm going to direct you to this line right here.
Yes, I did see that. He provided that the glass company was on Avon Street, but I don't have a city or any other location for it.
Okay. And did he tell you about where Melissa worked?
Yes,
Where did he tell you Melissa worked?
on Waffle House in Doraville.
Now, did he discuss to you about his relationship with Melissa around November, December of 1998?
Yes,
What do you recall him telling you about his relationship with Melissa around that time?
that they were together around the November, December timeframe of '98.
Did he tell you anything about being separated but then getting back together? God bless you.
We should count sneezes today. Or nose blowing.
He stated that they were together for about a month in that time, and so I don't want to misstate your question. I don't know that we discussed so much being separate. He just indicated they were together for about a month, which might imply that. But
I'm gonna approach you again.
You don't have to ask every time for the same witness. Thank you.
I'm gonna direct you to.
okay, like I say, that he did indicate they were separate. And they got together for about a month at that time.
Okay.
Ms.
But
Hilton, I'm sorry for interrupting. Will you take down the screen share, please?
Oh, sure. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Judge is not getting better.
But did you
That sniffle she
notate
picked
that
up.
he told you they got separated but got back together around Thanksgiving of 1998?
Yes.
All right. And then according to him, did he tell you when Melissa moved out?
Yes.
When did he tell you that she moved out?
Around Christmas of 1998.
All right. Now, after she moved out, did he tell you if he ever saw Melissa again?
He did.
Okay. What did he tell you about when he saw Melissa again?
He stated that he saw Melissa walking on Lee Street in Atlanta several months after that she had left, so sometime in 1999.
Okay. Do you recall him telling you approximate month about when he saw her in 1999?
I don't recall it. I'll review the report.
Do you recall him telling you it was between either March or April of 1999?
I don't recall that, and I don't know that I notated the specific month.
Okay. What did he tell you about when he saw her in 1999?
That she was walking on Lee Street, that she didn't look particularly well, that had indications of possible drug use.
Was he able to tell you if she was with someone, dating someone?
She said he didn't say that she was with someone walking, but he did say that she may have been involved with someone named Mike, whom she worked with at the Waffle House in Dorp.
In 2001, regarding the last time he saw her, did he only tell you that he saw her walking down the street?
Yes.
Did he tell you about anything about where she was going?
No.
Did he tell you, if you can recall, about what their conversation was?
No.
Did he tell you why he never made a report as to why she was missing?
No.
Did he tell you anything about whether or not he contacted her family to let them know that she was missing?
He stated that he didn't contact her family, or wasn't in contact with her family.
And did he give you a reason why he didn't contact her family?
He stated that they did not get along or they didn't like him.
They didn't like him.
This juncture, when you interviewed him, do you know where he was living?
The indication I have is he stated he lived at 824 Brookline.
Okay. Did you have an address that you notated in your report for him at the bottom of your report?
507 King Drive, Hinesville.
Okay. So at the time, do you know if he was still living on Brookline or if he was living on Hinesville?
I don't know. The report, it may be referencing that he stated that, or they lived at Brookline, so maybe when they're together they were Brookline, maybe he was at this other address.
I couldn't.
Sorry, you're actually getting in front of the microphone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Apparently, in the report, I indicated that he and Melissa both lived on Brookline, and at the end, I have a different address. So that Brookline address may have been referenced to when they were together.
Thank you.
And is it safe to say that what you have in your report is a summary of parts of that interview?
These are bullet points.
And would the interview contain everything that you all actually discussed?
That's right.
Okay. After speaking with Mr. Wolfenbarger, did you speak with any of his family?
Yes.
And who did you speak with?
His sister, Kimberly.
And did she provide you information regarding Melissa at that time?
Yes.
Now I want to take you to December of 2001. 2001. Did you meet with anyone in December of 2001?
December.
With the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office.
Why don't you just testify, Miss Hilton?
Okay,
Might
yes,
make it
December
easier.
27th.
Okay. And who did you meet with?
Mary Beth Hoptall, or Heptall.
And do you recall why in December you met with her?
To document dental records for Melissa Wolfenbarger.
Now, are these dental records that you received?
Yes.
In December 2001, did you do anything else with the dental records?
So once they were entered into this document to where they could be placed in the national database, I gave that to one of our communications and records personnel at the police department so it could be entered.
And you said it was put into a national database. What type of national database?
I think it's like NCIC is a program that we have for missing persons or stolen cars or anything like stolen property, all of that. So it's a database where a road officer or any officer can call in a person's ID and they'll note that if they're reported missing or a stolen object or whatever it may be. My understanding of this was that the pathologists or the doctors were able to chart or make some type of notation regarding dental records that could be entered in this. So if another agency had remains that were unidentified, they could cross-reference this, and it might help them to pull the cases together to further seek identification.
And did you do that? Did you put her dental records on NCIC?
Yes.
After December of 2001, excuse me, is it in December of 2001 when you put her dental records on NCIC?
Yes, December 31st was when the document that Ms. Hepdahl helped produce was provided to our communications people, who are the persons that would enter it into that system.
After December 30th, 2001, and the dental records are placed into NCIC, when is the next part of your investigation in this case?
March 13th of 2003.
So almost 18 months later again, after the records go into NCIC.
Yes.
What occurred in March of 2003?
That's a pretty open question.
Carol Terry contacted me regarding the records, and I ended up meeting with her and bringing the records so that she could review them.
Okay. And what date is that in March of 2003?
March 13th.
And Dr. Terry, where was she a medical examiner?
Yes.
Where did she work?
Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office here in Atlanta.
You said here in Atlanta?
In Atlanta.
Okay. And when you met with Dr. Terry, did you meet with her at the Fulton County Medical Examiner's
Yes,
Office?
I did.
Was there anyone else present with the two of you when you all met?
Mainly the two of us. We were in their office, so there were other people around, but I believe I only recall speaking with primarily her, and if there was somebody else there, they weren't involved in it, and I didn't make any notation of it.
And during that meeting, was she able to provide you with information regarding unidentified human remains?
Yes.
After that meeting on March 13th, did you send anything to Dr. Terry?
Yes, I did.
What did you send to her?
A written copy of the dental records pertaining to Melissa Wolfenbarger.
And how did you send that information to her?
By fax.
And after you sent those dental records, did you receive information on the identity of the skull that they were trying to identify?
Yes.
Once the skull was identified, what day was it identified?
March 14th, 2003.
So the same day you sent over the dental records, the same day it was identified?
Yes.
Did you discuss any investigative tools or testing that could be done on the skull?
We talked about DNA testing.
Now, once the remains were identified, just answer yes or no, did you attempt to locate Chris?
Yes.
Okay. And did you locate him?
Yes.
Okay. I want to take you to March of 2003. Did you have an opportunity to interview Chris Wolfenbarger again?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What date is that?
I don't have a report on that. I don't have a summary for that one, but it was it was at the Gwinnett County Jail. I'm sorry.
Was it close in time to when the head was identified?
Again, I don't have a date, so
Did anyone go with you to interview Chris?
Detective Calhoun.
And where did Detective Calhoun work at the time?
I believe Atlanta Police.
And during that interview, were you the primary person leading that interview?
Yes, I was.
At that time, tell the jury briefly about your kind of interview style when you interview individuals.
Every interview that I do, I'm trying to obtain truthful information, so I try to speak to everyone respectfully for one thing, and take what they're providing as factual information until it can be proven otherwise. So I just sit down with a person like I would sit down with anybody in any circumstance and ask them questions and stuff. If it gets to a point where there's some contradictory information or something that appears to be a problem in there, we definitely might confront them about that or go further into detail about it. But for the most part, I try to be, have a good rapport with them and just sit down and ask logical questions and take what they provide as factual information.
Now, when you interviewed him, did you allow him to kind of lock him into a version before telling him whether or not Melissa was found or not?
Well, was just reviewing and obtaining the history that he provided again, which we did. And then later at the end or near the end of the interview, he was informed that Melissa had been identified.
And was he able to give you a history again of their relationship?
Yes.
Leading up to the last time he saw her?
Yes.
During the course of that interview, do you recall him talking about her father?
Yes.
What, if anything, did Chris tell you about Melissa's relationship with her father?
I think that that they didn't have a really good relationship, that they didn't communicate, I think.
Do you recall him telling you that she loved her father?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall him telling you that...
I'm going to object to the leading.
About now.
Rephrase.
Now you are?
Do you remember asking him whether or not her father could do something like this?
I don't, no.
So she continues to lead.
Do you remember him in this interview, again, discussing about them trying to work on their relationship in the end or December of 1990?
I don't specifically recall it, and I'd have to, again, I did review that interview, but I don't recall his exact statements.
Do you remember him telling you about the last time he saw Melissa?
Yes.
What do you recall about him telling you about the last time he saw her?
He stated that he saw her walking from around the train station, and that he didn't initially recognize her, I believe.
Do you remember him telling you when he saw her?
No, I don't.
Do you remember if he told you that this was again in March or April of 1990?
This is leading. He doesn't remember. Now she's answering the question for him.
But I'm asking, y'all come here for a second.
But I'm asking him if he remembers now. I'm helping him remember. I'm refreshing his recollection, Your Honor. He said he didn't remember, so I'm telling him what happened so that he can tell the jury. Yes, that's called leading, and it's been objected to, and it should be sustained at this point. Yes, this is Miss Hilton from YSL. But Your Honor, I need the jury to hear this. He doesn't remember, and he's the only person we can bring this out with. She is spoon feeding him.
If you'll please rephrase your question, Ms. Hilton.
Do you recall in the interview if it was any months after the last time he had? Do you recall when it was?
When what was? The interview?
I don't specifically recall when it might have been.
Doesn't recall.
And have you had the opportunity to view that interview in its entirety? Or listen to that interview, excuse me.
I did listen to it.
Okay. And in listening to that interview, did that appear to be a complete and accurate depiction of that interview as you recall it back from 2003?
It does.
Hopefully this is better audio. Because I'd hate to have Miss Hilton walk us through question by question through the next interview. Judge has shed her cape. It's like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly, or a snake molting, depending on which analysis you prefer, which analogy you'd prefer. But the cape has been shed. She is about to reveal her new cape shortly. Asia Karasik. Asia Karasik. Did I say that right? Welcome to the gallery. Thank you so much. I think you've told me at one point how to say your name, and I think I messed it up. Caterpillars wear capes. Yes, we're learning new things here. Not just about trial. Just so you know, I failed my first science class in 3rd grade. So take it from me, caterpillars wear capes.
And I'm going to show you what's going to mark as Exhibit 73. Looking at what's and on here, does it indicate the date of that interview?
Yes, it does.
What is the date of the interview?
March 18, 2003.
And again, I'm just going to remember because it's 2003. Did this appear to be the entirety of the interview that we just discussed?
Yes.
You're right. This time the state's going to admit Stacey Exhibit 73 and will produce a hard copy for the court.
Mr. Samuel?
You speak so fast, but we don't have an objection to the tape.
Okay. Exhibit 73.
My understanding is there needs to be redactions at some point, but that's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Exhibit 73 is admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Admitted with redactions.
Now, after you met with Mr. Wolfenbarger, and you said you met with Detective Calhoun? Met him with Detective Calhoun?
Yes.
And did you know where Detective Calhoun worked?
Atlanta Police Department.
And what was your understanding of Investigator Calhoun's role with relation to the remains that were found in Atlanta in 1999?
That he would take up the investigation at that point, now that the remains have been identified.
And at that point in March of 2003, did you then turn over your file and information to Detective Calhoun?
I don't recall specifically giving him the file, but the case was more or less, or the aspect of the remains was out of our jurisdiction, so we didn't have any further involvement with it.
Butchered it, didn't
And
they?
to from what you know, did Detective Calhoun then continue the investigation at that point?
As far as I know.
Of course, indulgence for one moment.
We are on catch up, so we are speeding her up just 1.25 speed, but she already does talk fast, so it makes it a little bit quicker.
No further question.
Thank you. Mr. Samuel?
On to cross-examination.
Thank you.
I'm a little bit mortified. I'm just trying not to think
You
about
still
it
go
right
by
now.
detective or Mr. or what do you prefer?
Tom is fine.
Tom. Tom, how are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
So just working backwards, the last time you spoke with Chris was, Mr. Wolfenbarger, was, there was a tape, but you didn't take any notes at all during so you're going by memory?
No, I listened to the audio. Unfortunately, if there was a report generated about it, which there should have been, I don't have access to it or haven't been provided at this point. So that's the downside of that for me. I can't refer to it as I could the first one.
Yes.
So I only have the audio which I did listen to, and then trying to recall that is difficult.
Well, it wasn't my hand. When was the last time you listened to it?
I was listening to part of it this morning, but I didn't make it completely through. I listened to it a couple of days ago as well.
Okay. And this was 22 plus years ago?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I just have a couple questions. I want to talk to you about you talked about having met the grandparents and Patton family. And then you met with Chris the first time on September 12th, 2001, right?
I think that's right, yes.
And where was that meeting?
Henry County Police Department.
Okay, so he came to the police department, just met with you because you asked him to come and he came to meet with you?
Right.
Okay. That was the day after 9/11.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. It was September 12th, 2001.
Right.
Or I imagine a lot of our minds were in different places that day. And he told you about the background. He told you where they lived, right?
Yes.
824 Brookline. He told you that she had worked at the Waffle House in Doraville, right, Melissa?
Yes.
And I'm just going by your report because I can't listen to the audio either because it's totally inaudible, basically, that audio. He told you that the relationship was such that sometimes she would leave for days at a time?
Yes.
Stayed at motels, including up near the Waffle House where she then worked?
Yes.
Okay.
What's that referring to?
And there was when you were answering the prosecutor's questions, there was some concern about when he said he had last seen her. Your notes indicate that what he said was that she moved out on Christmas of 98, right?
Right.
Okay. And that he saw her one more time a few months later, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And this is when she was walking down the street, and later when you talked to him, whatever, 2 years later, he said it was heading towards the train station or outside the train station, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So he told you basically the same thing 2 years later when you talked to him up in Lawrenceville, correct?
That he saw her on the street on one occasion, and then more information that they spoke on the second occurrence,
Right. He said that she looked disheveled when he saw her that occasion?
Yes.
Okay. He also reported to you that he was aware that she had been involved with a man named Mike right? He's from the Waffle House up in Doraville, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And that's when he mentioned that she was staying at a hotel with Mike, as far as he knew, correct?
The way I have it noted is that he said that she was involved with this person named Mike that worked at the Waffle House, and that I noted that one time when she left Mike, she was staying at a Shallowford Lodge.
Okay.
So,
okay, very good. And then he also told you exactly where he lived and gave you the address. You mentioned that already, that he said he lived in Hinesville, gave you his phone number, gave you his address, all of which you noted in your report, right? Okay, so he wasn't hiding out where he was or using a fake name or anything like that,
not
correct?
that I know of.
Okay. And, of course, this was a missing persons report, so when eventually the medical examiner was able to take the dental records and compare it with the skull that had been located, it was no longer a missing persons report, right?
Right.
Which is why you were finished, basically.
Yes.
You did one more interview with Detective Calhoun, who we saw yesterday. Was he taking notes, do you know?
I don't recall.
Okay. How long was the first interview that we just rehearsed a little bit?
So the first one that with the poor audio, is that
Correct.
about 30 minutes or so, I think?
Okay, you just have a one-page report, so obviously it's a summary, it's not a transcript, right?
Right.
The second interview up in Lawrenceville was quite a bit longer. The one you did with Calhoun,
Was a little
Detective
bit
Calhoun.
longer. That one, from listening to them, may have gone maybe 50-something minutes, maybe.
Okay. Well, okay. Thank you.
Ms. Hilton? Any redirect?
No, nothing further.
Okay, thank you, sir. You may step down. Ms. Hilton, Mr. Samuel, can I come here for just a minute?
Judge calls sidebar. Not sure why on this one. We are a little early for a break. They do have a little late start today, but it was earlier than previous.
Sergeant Leon Lacoste.
Sergeant Leo or Liam? I missed the name. The first one with the bad audio as opposed to the second one with the bad audio. Yes. Oh, man. I've been slacking on the thumbnail department. I'm prepping one right now for Donna Adelson. Actually, I just finished it. Trying to put a couple of the.
Once you get there, before you have a seat, if you'll turn and face the deputy, he'll raise your right hand. He'll swear you in.
You swear affirm to the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. That's true. You have a seat. Please spell your full name for the court, please.
Leanne, Liane, Elizabeth, Elizabeth, Lacoste, Lacoss.
And good morning. How are you currently employed?
I'm retired.
And how long have you been retired?
Since 2018.
And where did you retire from?
Atlanta Police Department.
And how long were you with the Atlanta Police Department prior to your retirement?
30 years.
Can you tell the jury briefly about your matriculation through the Atlanta Police Department?
Joined in 1988. From 89 to 99, I was in Uniform Patrol in Zone 6. I made Sergeant 99, was in Uniform Patrol as a Sergeant in Zone 4 until 2000. 2000, I went to Internal Affairs as a Sergeant. Left there in 2003 and went to Homicide and stayed there the rest of my career.
Okay. And so how long did you serve as a Sergeant in the Homicide Unit?
16 years.
And as a Sergeant in the Homicide Unit, what are your primary duties, job duties and responsibilities?
I was in charge of, mainly in charge of the cold case and complex case unit, overseeing the cold cases. We also, I handle officer-involved shootings, and I also filled in on day watch, overseeing the active cases that came each day.
Now, as a Sergeant, do you actively investigate cases?
No, ma'am.
Okay. If information comes in about a case, what, if anything, do you do with the information?
It depends totally on the information that comes in. If it's an active case, I would forward it to the appropriate investigator. If it's a cold case, depending on what the information is, I'll either assign it to a new investigator or try and follow up the information to see if it's worth assigning the case.
While you served as sergeant over the homicide unit, did you have the occasion to work with an investigator, A.B. Calhoun?
Yes, ma'am.
And was he one of the detectives assigned to the homicide unit while you were sergeant?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I want to take you back to 2003. Do you recall being called out to a home with cadaver dogs from an outside jurisdiction?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember where that house was?
I do not.
Do you remember the circumstances and what brought you to that location?
I believe Investigator Quinn called me to that location.
Okay. And what happened? Did you go to the location?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened once you got out there?
There had been as my understanding, I was told that there had been a search with cadaver dogs at that location that did not have any positive results. The dog did not hit on anything.
Okay. Were the cadaver dogs for the City of Atlanta Police Department or somewhere else?
Somewhere else.
Do you recall what other jurisdiction it was?
I do not.
Do you recall ever speaking with Investigator Calhoun about this incident where you went out to this home with the cadaver dogs?
I'm sure it was his case. I'm sure I talked to him at some point, but I don't recall doing it.
And you said Investigator Quinn. Who is Investigator Quinn?
Investigator David Quinn. He also worked with us on the cold case unit.
And back in 2003, did you ever assist Investigator Calhoun specifically with the investigation of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
In 2003, I don't recall doing anything on the case.
Say it again?
I don't recall doing anything in 2003 besides that response.
Okay. And to your knowledge, was there a response in relation to his case that he was investigating?
Yes, ma'am.
And at this time sitting here, do you know specifically which case it was in reference to that he was investigating?
The Melissa Wolfenbarger.
Now, I want to direct your attention to January of 2015. Did you have the occasion to become involved in some way in the Melissa Wolfenbarger investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
How did you become involved in that investigation?
Norma and Tina Patton had contacted me and asked to meet with me about the case.
And at that time, was Investigator Calhoun still working with the Atlanta Police Department?
No, he had retired.
And once he retired, at that time, had you assigned the case to another investigator?
No, ma'am.
And did you meet with Norma and Tina Patton?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you meet with them?
Public Safety Headquarters.
And what did you do once you met with Norma and Tina Patton?
I read the case. I requested I did not see the crime lab reports in there. I requested them. They had asked me to contact several people that had information possibly on the case. I did that. I called them.
And as you are kind of reviewing the case to assist, did you see any information about any latent fingerprints?
Later, yes, as I got the GBI reports.
Amber Waves of Grain, congratulations.
Did those reports produce anything of any evidentiary value?
Objection. Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Your response? What's the nature of the objection?
The computation clause.
I'm asking, did it produce any evidentiary value? I'm not asking what was said in the report.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Did it produce anything of any evidentiary value?
No, ma'am.
Rebecca, thanks for the gifted membership. Appreciate your generosity.
When you met with Melissa and Tina, did they express concerns about Melissa's case?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your understanding of their concern?
That they were understandably upset that an arrest had not been made in the case.
And this is now in 2015?
Correct.
You said that they provided you some names of individuals that you should follow up with. Did you follow up with those individuals?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you follow up with?
Diane Parrott was the first individual.
And to your knowledge, had Diane Parrott been interviewed previously in this investigation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you recall when she was first interviewed?
I do not.
Do you know if Investigator Calhoun interviewed her?
I do not know who interviewed her.
Okay.
Melanie, this is a cold case.
Did you get an opportunity to speak with Ms.
Long time
Parrott?
ago.
Yes, ma'am.
Prior to speaking with Ms. Parrott, did you listen to any of her initial interviews?
No, ma'am.
What is the date that you interviewed Ms. Parrott?
January 12th, 2015.
And where did you interview her?
Over the phone.
And was she able to provide you any information?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you record her interview?
Yes, ma'am.
And have you had the opportunity to listen to her interview in preparation for your testimony today?
Yes, ma'am.
Permission to push on.
Granted.
Wait, is she going to play the interview?
No, she's approaching the witness for the foundation.
But I do intend to play the interview.
But we're not there yet, so.
We are not there.
I'm showing you what's the market Stacey Exhibit 74. Tell me if you recognize Stacey Exhibit 74.
Yes, ma'am.
And how do you recognize Stacey Exhibit 74?
It's got my initials and today's date on it.
Okay. And is that, does that contain the interview that you had with Ms. Parrott back in January of 2015?
Yes, ma'am.
And did it appear to be the full interview with Ms. Parrott?
Yes, ma'am.
Any additions or deletions?
No, ma'am.
Okay. You're on this time to stick with items in Exhibit 74.
Mr. McDermott?
Excuse me? I didn't hear what she said.
She's offered to admit Exhibit 74. Any objection?
No objection.
Okay, Exhibit 74 is admitted.
But, well, hold on. I do object, Your Honor. She's wanting to enter the whole statement, and there's a confrontation right in that.
Yes.
It's admitted. Hold on. I object. Okay, we approach. Sidebar. His objection is confrontation. Sounds like something they worked out previously that should be kept out, at least a part of this. So defense casually with hands clasped behind the back makes the argument to the judge, fairly confident that that this one's going to succeed. Makes his point. Turns to Miss Hilton. Judge, tissues in hand.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to step out. I was getting ready to take a morning break anyway, so we're going to go ahead and take that morning break. It's 10:51. We're going to try and have you back in here about 11:05, 11:10, and then we'll resume. Thank you all. You are excused until 11:05. Deputy, if you'll escort the jury out.
All right, well, jury.
Looks like we might get a little bit of something outside the jury's presence. A little proffer, maybe? Maybe? You think? We'll see. Maybe we just get a break. Do a recap on the next break. We will get RA to do us a recap on the next break. I feel like I'm being pushed around a little bit. Just kidding, Red. The break is a great time to catch up on this if we get one here. Give us a second.
You can be seated. Okay. Sir, I'm sorry, ma'am. Officer, detective, I'm not sure exactly what to call you. Sergeant, I think it was. If you'll step outside for just a moment. Thank you.
Sir, ma'am, officer, detective. She's gone through pretty much the whole list. Get rid of the witness. Quick proffer argument.
Okay. So the state has requested to offer Exhibit 74, which I understand is a recording of an interview with Ms. Parrott. And when I asked if the defense had any objection, Mr. McDermott indicated that he did have an objection. We approached, and at sidebar, there was some discussion. I was like, I thought I'd already ruled on this. And then there was some discussion about these are statements that the defense requested to have in evidence, perhaps because of the rule of completeness. Mr. McDermott indicates that he's still asserting a confrontation right. And it seemed complicated enough that I thought we needed to sort it out. So, Ms. Hilton?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, last Monday, defense counsel asked for a portion of Ms. Parrott's statement to come in. The court ruled that based on the residual hearsay, it could come in. There's guaranteed trustworthiness within that statement. At that point, the state decided, based on the court's ruling, that we would move forward in playing the statement, given the court's ruling. However, given the rule of completeness, that both the statement that defense counsel asked to put in and the entirety of the statement would be appropriate to put in based on the rule of completeness, Your Honor.
Okay. So part of the conversation that Mr. McDermott asserted at the bench was that the rule of completeness is not a waiver. Generally speaking, I mean, I agree with him that, just because one party wants to offer one thing, the other party is allowed to say, but for context, you have to have this, this, and this. That doesn't necessarily mean the whole thing has to be played, but if that's your choice, you can. So now that means I need to entertain Mr. McDermott's objections to particular portions of that statement.
Sure. So we asked the court the statement regarding did she ever see any bruises or marks on Melissa's body? And she says no, and that she would have been looking if, in fact, so she would have seen it.
I didn't know this.
The state is wanting to play this, I assume, because at another portion of that interview, Ms. Parrott talks about the story that Tina Patton told regarding the time Christopher was in the Waffle House allegedly and said something about he knows how to hide a body. And so I think they're wanting to play that so that they can corroborate Tina's story. That is completely unrelated to the other issue we brought up. It is not needed to complete any alleged mischaracterization or context of the other issue we brought up, and so I'm asserting the confrontation right still in that portion of the interview.
So a couple of questions. One, is that the purpose? I mean, what in her statement is relevant that the state wishes to use it for?
So we believe that the statement in its entirety talks about the relationship between Mr. Wolfenbarger and Melissa back in the late 90s, 2000s. They asked specifically about bruising, but it also talks about their relationship, which I think understanding her statement about bruising in context with the dynamics of their relationship is what is important. So it's a 5-minute interview that's held, but because of what it's not just the physical seeing it, she also talks about other parts of their relationship, which I think puts that part in context.
Okay. Regarding Mr. McDermott's objection, at least in part, as to statements by Ms. Parrott about, is it something that Ms. Parrott says she was a part of, or that she is relating that she was told that by Tina Patton?
No, she was a part of. So she was a part of the conversation about Mr. Wolfenbarger. So she was there and present. If that's the question.
No. So my understanding, Mr. McDermott at least has characterized that part of what Ms. Parrott is recounting is this thing that Tina Patton testified to about Mr. Wolfenbarger saying, I know where to hide a body. Okay. And my question is Ms. Parrott relating that Tina told her that, or is she saying that she was a part of the conversation with Mr. Wolfenbarger and heard Mr. Wolfenbarger say that?
She's saying she heard him say it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's still unrelated. The confrontation right, when it's used, does not give you a blanket open door to the entire statement.
It's still non-testimonial, though. I mean, at least, I understand she's providing the statement that she's relating.
Of course it's testimonial. It's a statement of the police.
I know, I just realized that. I'm sorry, I was thinking about her relating it to Ms. Patton.
And she's unavailable, too, Your Honor. Ms. Parrott is deceased.
I'm aware of that.
So, if I can have a few moments, because I didn't know this was an issue, we brought it up to defense counsel, but anyway, I get why he objected at this point in time, but if I could just have a brief moment to research the issue so that I can see if there's any case law, one way or the other.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
She's going to take a minute to look at the issue further.
So do you want to take a 30-minute recess?
No, I told the jury that I was going to give them until 11:05 or 11:10, so conduct yourselves accordingly. I do have a search warrant to take up, though, so I'm going to step off the bench for a minute and deal with that. Officer, if you'll come around,
All right. So she's going to swear and, sign a search warrant really quickly because, work goes on even during trial. Let's see. We're trying to do a quick little synopsis of where we are in this trial and how we got here. There's a lot. Let's see if I can sort of boil this down to just the basics. The defendant in this trial, Christopher Wolfenbarger, is charged with the murder and dismemberment of his wife, Melissa. Melissa is the daughter of a man who was convicted of being a serial killer, killed 5 people. That man has since passed away. He passed away in prison, but he was incarcerated after the daughter went missing. And as part of him being incarcerated, his DNA was taken, and his DNA matched the DNA of the body parts that were found very near Christopher Wolfenbarger's work. He worked at a glass shop at the time, and they found a head in the road. They later found arms and legs. No torso was ever recovered. But they didn't know who it was. Originally, they thought it was a male. but they didn't know who it was, and until the DNA test sort of answered that for them. So we have some issues. The husband, obviously, the dad who was the serial killer. I can't remember, the Flint River murderers. I think that was his name, the Flint River murderer. Killed two of the people who he killed in his own home. The wife helped plan it, carry it out, and clean up afterwards. And then she, at the husband's bidding, testified against the husband in his trial, and for her cooperation, she received immunity and was given 1 year probation for her role in those two murders. Those two murders happened with Grandpa sitting on the couch, passed out drunk, and possibly one of their daughters home in the house at the same time. It's a bit of a family thing, and pretty wild. Pretty wild. We've heard from the mom. We've also heard from the other daughter, that was Melissa's sister, Tina. There's been testimony that Tina gave birth to a child, and that child was found deceased in a basket in the home by Melissa. So this whole family has some tough skeletons to deal with. This is a cold case. They did not have enough to solve this crime when it occurred. Even back in 2003, when they did the DNA match and found who was missing, there wasn't enough evidence to solve this. We're hearing about dates back in the 2013. 10 years later, wasn't charged, and just recently this case was relooked at. The case was taken to a grand jury. The defendant was indicted, and here we are at trial. It is a tough case because I have yet to hear any new evidence beyond what they had originally when they determined there wasn't enough to hold him. They looked at him. He's always been a suspect, and we're just basically running with what we've got and what we had back then. And over time, evidence has degraded. Obviously, we had terrible quality of interviews as far as audio and video goes. We've had terrible memories as over time everything fades or gets blurred with what we saw on news or TV or a million different programs that talked about this case. And so it gets a little cloudy and murky in the testimony. And add to that, we have some prosecutors who are not doing what I would call the best job at what they're doing. They're struggling to present a case in a manner that sort of resonates with me as like a potential juror member. And how about the Waffle House? Melissa, the victim, worked at a Waffle House. She actually worked at two, but at one Waffle House, she had a manager or a boss. I don't know if it was a manager. Another employee who works there who she became involved with, apparently on the roof of the Waffle House and in a hotel behind the Waffle House, and went out to dinner at the Chinese place across the street. It's some wild stories. It's pretty crazy. Rooftop waffles, yes. All that happened. Throughout this, the prosecution has struggled to do such basic things as turn over discovery to the defense, and 3 or more times already in trial, we have had the prosecution either get caught having not turned something over, which they said, we didn't think it was important, so we didn't give it to you, or literally just pass over a stack of, here's 70 more pictures of a crime scene that we neglected to give you. Enjoy. Shouldn't be a problem. You've got them now. Quit complaining. It's been wild. Did I miss all the blue waffle jokes? You did. Truth is stranger than fiction for real. Did I miss any key elements here? There is no smoking gun. We're some of the strongest evidence the state has brought out is the daughter of the victim who took the stand yesterday. after she was, well, about 16, 17 years old, she found out that she was being raised by her grandparents and not her mom and dad. She started communicating with who someone she thought was her brother. It turns out to be her father, and eventually lives with him for a year. And they have conversations about mom and about what happened. And one of the conversations they talk about, as they are big fans of true crime, is that was they're listening to some program. The defendant, allegedly Christopher Wolfenbarger, told his daughter that the person in the program did it wrong. That's not how you hide a body. I know how to get rid of a body. You go to a construction site where they're pouring a foundation, and you dig a hole, and then you bury the body, and then you cover them up, and then they pour the foundation the next day, and no one will ever know. They'll never dig it up. That's what allegedly he said. So that is basically some of the strongest evidence they have, although that was not the MO that was used in this case. In this case, the body was dismembered and put in bags and spread out or buried over some area. The other bit of evidence they have is that Christopher Wolfenbarger did in fact work at this glass shop on Avon Road, and he may or may not have borrowed a power tool, a saw. I don't know where my saw went. Somebody put it away. And he may or may not have returned the saw. And we know that the body was dismembered using a saw. That's where we're at. Oh, and one other piece. Christopher Wolfenbarger was involved in a case, a pending case against him, where he was charged with domestic violence against his wife. Add to that his wife's family hated Christopher and tried to get him arrested even at the young age of 15 when they first started dating or going out and hanging out together. It's a wild case. Am I the only one that doesn't think the state's proven it yet? I don't think they have. The guilty behavior of the defendant when he was arrested in this garage man cave. Okay, yes, he was hiding behind the wine rack when the police came to arrest him, and the police took, 25 minutes to find him. And they were tearing that house apart. They eventually found him. He is in a wheelchair. Don't know why. We've heard rumors that it was from a climbing accident. It's not important to this case why he's in a wheelchair. He's here. We realized he did hide or had help hiding at some point. Wasn't in a wheelchair and was walking when he was arrested. Now he's not. Could be an injury has gotten worse over time. That's it. They did rule Melissa's parents out. I left and I'm back. Do I need to watch? Do you need to go back and watch? Is it worth it? Dr. Bullbutter, depends what you're in for, what you're looking for. This testimony this morning hasn't been the most gripping. It's mostly been investigators who didn't recall exactly what they did or when they did it. A few comments made during interviews which are so garbled that, we'll just have to take your word for it that that's what was said. But it's just been a little bit confusing this morning. Let's see. Yes, his guilty conscience behavior he was hiding when the police came to look for him is all he's got, all they've really got against him. He's in a wheelchair accident because of a side-by-side accident days before his arrest. He wound up having surgery in jail recently. Tammy, I know you've got some connections with the family, and so I trust that that's right. We haven't been able to verify much of anything. We heard there was a climbing accident. Maybe it's a driving accident. Let's see. The longest game of hide and seek ever. He was hiding really well. It was quite effective. I'd be hiding too if Fulton came looking for me. That jail is third world country conditions. Stay out of Fulton County. I agree. There's some circumstances, but I can't get to guilty on that. Stephanie, I've said this the other day. It sounds like he probably did it. He likely did it. There's a good chance he did it. I would even say he most likely did it, but I'm not past that reasonable doubt point. It just hasn't been proven. Let's see. He wasn't in a wheelchair when she was killed. That's right. This was a couple years after, I thought. I will not be committing any crimes in Fulton County. This is our mantra. We can chant this together. Do not commit crimes in Fulton County. If you have any doubt that you're able to abide by this little phrase, just don't go there. Okay? And then if you do commit a crime, it won't be in Fulton County. See, discrepancies regarding the cadaver dogs on the crime scene. Last witness said dogs were there and nothing was found. Yesterday, witness dogs not allowed. Conflicting testimonies. It is a little different. The dogs that were brought were not police dogs. They were just like local club trains dogs to sniff out bodies. That sort of thing. They were brought, and apparently without a warrant, and so nothing was really turned up. But yeah. Let's see. Do not even speed. Use your blinkers. Always drive 10 and 2. It was a private, uncontracted party. Yes. It was just some civilians showed up with their dogs. They were walking by and they're like, hey, what's going on? You want my dog to give it a sniff? He's pretty good at finding stuff. And didn't work out. I was mugged as a teenager in Fulton County back in '98. Never heard back from them after they took statements. Are we caught up? I can find out. That's probably something I should have done a long time ago. Let's see. We will be in just a second. Yes, we're caught up. There, the clock jumped a little bit. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot we were behind. Now, of course, we need to go back. We are going to be on regular speed, so everyone's going to talk just a little bit slower now.
On that.
Yes, Your Honor. So I did not find anything directly on point. However, in looking at Carlson's on evidence, specifically under the best evidence rule, within it they discuss a case out of the Arizona Supreme Court, which is persuasive authority, in which the Arizona Supreme Court, and this is in case State v. Now spell it, I think it's Prasert-Fong, P-R-A-S-E-R-T-P-H-O-N-G 210 Arizona 496, that the Arizona Supreme Court held that a criminal defendant waived his Sixth Amendment right to the introduction of the remainder of a co-defendant's testimonial statement where he himself introduced portions thereof. Condemning the defendant's entreaty to hold otherwise, the court remarked, such a position transforms the confrontation clause from a shield to a sword. So, in looking at that, what defense counsel has asked to do is to play a portion of her statement, which would be a foul of, for them, the confrontation clause, because they want half of it.
Interrupting you, but I follow your argument, but they've said they want to offer it, but they haven't actually offered it.
Correct. And what we were doing was trying to avoid that. Now, the state can wait and see if defense counsel offers the statement themselves and whether they play it on redirect or if they play it within their own case in chief and then ask for the rest of the portion to be played at that point in time.
Mr. McDermott?
So, what was the date on that court case?
This is a 2005 case.
2005. And that was effectively the issue that was taken up in Hemphill v. New York by the United States Supreme Court in 2021. A defendant wanted to make reference to statements that were made, I believe it was at a plea hearing, and they were favorable to him. And then when the state moved to bring in the rest of the transcript or whatever other statements from the plea hearing, he said, no, I have a confrontation right now. And the United States Supreme Court upheld him. So whatever the Arizona Supreme Court thought about swords versus shields is irrelevant in light of what the United States Supreme Court said. And it goes a little deeper than that when you start talking about, well, no, I guess it really doesn't. It's the rule of completeness was discussed in that case, the court didn't decide on that issue, and there was some discussion of that issue in the concurrences and dissents. And so it is an undecided issue, but as the law stands currently, you can quote part and still reserve your confrontation right in the remaining parts of the statement. And the only exceptions I would think that there would be to that is if you're quoting part and leaving out a part that creates a mischaracterization. And that would have to be on the same issue, and that's not what's in play here.
It's a powerful argument on the defense's side.
And if I may, I also note that according to Carson's, and this was his 8th edition, that it appears the 11th Circuit, according to Carlson, is moving in the direction of the more inclusive line of cases that hold that Rule 106 authorizes the admission of otherwise objectionable evidence if doing so serves the purposes of the rule. So again, kind of in line with this Arizona case, it appears that the 11th Circuit is attempting to move in that direction, being more inclusive if the defendant wants to play part of a statement that would otherwise be inadmissible, then allowing all of it to come in based upon the rule of evidence.
She's basically reading the tea leaves saying, I think the appellate circuit wants this.
I'm trying to get to a couple of cases.
It was real slow for me this morning, though.
I'm going to crank the audio up just a tiny bit. I hear you guys.
And inaccurate for me in the search.
I've boosted it just a tiny bit. Usually, relevant Supreme Court decisions on the topic are going to stand. Keeping an eye on Judge Cedric Simpson. We're still expecting Mr. Magoo to make an appearance there today, and we'll bring that to you when it happens, or shortly thereafter. Reed Timmer, who's a storm chaser, just sending out in the last hour that he's not going to be headed to North Carolina to document the waves from the hurricane because it's not safe to do so. They have been evacuating the eastern barrier islands, we call the OBX. And if you're out there, get out of there. It's not going to be good. This storm is going to change those islands for a long time. Hatteras Island, that point, if you look at the point on North Carolina, that's where Hatteras Island is. I've not only visited, I've camped out there for a week and even gone deep sea fishing out of the marina right there at the point. It's a beautiful, beautiful area where the ocean currents sort of mix right there. Barb, yes, we have started to watch Trial and Bailed. Occasionally we do. Yeah, we're going to lose a lot of turtle nests in this one. We're also going to lose some homes. There are a couple homes that will not survive this storm that already have been, the erosion of just regular weather has eroded the beach down to the point where the home is basically at the surf line.
Oh, I'm reading. Okay. Thank you.
Keep reading, Judge. Keep reading. It's possible the road going along the Outer Banks is going to be washed out. It will definitely be washed over and covered with sand and impassable. But Imagine for most of this week, starting probably tonight into tomorrow, it's not safe out there.
Having now had a chance to look at the Hemphill case, and having considered what the state has offered, I don't find, I don't find anything. I think Mr. McDermott's characterization of what the court said in Hemphill is accurate. And that to the extent the 11th Circuit has talked about waiver in the context of Hemphill, it's only done it once. And they're talking about the difference between implied and express waivers. And while I have very real concerns about the ability of a defendant to say, I want to play this part, but I invoke my confrontation right on this part, that seems fundamentally unfair and sounds a lot like a waiver to me. So far, that hasn't actually happened. The defendant hasn't offered that testimony, number one. And number two, if they did, it does seem like Hemphill would caution the court against finding an express waiver. So for now, I think Mr. McDermott is correct that there is a confrontation right in terms of the state's. It is the statement, just to clarify my record, because I incorrectly said a few minutes ago. I mean, the statement's clearly testimonial in nature. We have a law enforcement officer who's going to testify to having discussed this, and it's an audio recording of that individual speaking to law enforcement. So I don't think there's any dispute that Mr. Wolfenbarger would have a confrontation right. That person is unavailable. But the request by the defense and the ruling by the court that her statements would potentially be admissible as to residual hearsay based on what she observed, I don't think changes the outcome here in terms of the ruling in favor of the defense that this is confrontation.
And thank you for that, Your Honor, but if it's the same statement to the same law enforcement officer describing her observations, nothing changed. So if it's admissible under the residual hearsay for the defendant, we would ask that the same confrontation clause issue is still there. And if the defense is allowed to bring in their portion for their particular purposes, we would ask that the court reconsider allowing any of the statement in. Because
I may very well not allow any of the statement in because, as I said, I have read Hemphill, but I still have real concerns about the ability of a defendant to cherry pick his confrontation rights. And so, to be clear, if Mr. Wolfenbarger chooses to offer that evidence affirmatively in some manner, the court may find that that constitutes an express waiver of his confrontation rights. But right now, Mr. Wolfenbarger hasn't offered that testimony. The state doesn't have a confrontation right. So the only thing that I was asked to rule on previously was whether or not that statement would constitute residual hearsay. And I think it would, and that's why I said it could be offered. But at the time, the defense was attempting to offer it, and no one was invoking confrontation because the defense wanted to offer it affirmatively.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Yes, Your Honor, very
As clear as it can be anyway?
It's as clear as it can be.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So does that mean, what do we need to do with this witness, practically speaking? Do you need to have her back on the stand to conclude your examination?
I do need to complete my examination, and then I believe I admitted it. I don't think I can.
Actually, you offered it, but Mr. McDermott objected, and the court hasn't ruled on that objection. That's where we stopped to have this conversation.
All right. So I'm assuming the court is going to sustain their objection and not allow the state to.
That's correct.
Okay.
I'm not going to allow its admission.
Thank you.
So we're ready for that witness then and the jury?
Yes.
Mr. McDermott?
Your Honor, if I get on cross in just a couple of minutes and then attempt to elicit the statement that was previously allowed, are we going to have this discussion all over again?
We might. I mean, I think I've just said out loud. I've read Hemphill. I understand what it says, but I have very real concerns about the ability of a defendant to cherry pick their confrontation rights and to offer a part of a statement without invoking confrontation and then seeking to invoke confrontation to prevent the state from offering the full context of that statement. And I mean, we might need to make a further record of it, but I'm just trying to guide you that if you offer that statement, the state, I believe, I expect, is going to seek, based on Ms. Hilton's representations a moment ago, to play the remainder of it. And I very well might find that Mr. Wolfenbarger has waived his confrontation rights as to that statement by affirmatively offering that witness's statement and evidence. And again, I think it would be different if we were talking about an hours-long statement by a witness who was talking about lots of things that might or might not be relevant. But we're talking about a 5-minute statement that could probably be even pared down further, that are about that particular now deceased, through no fault of anyone else's, unavailable witness, testimony about what she personally observed and what statement she personally heard the defendant make. That's my understanding of the characterization of that statement. That Ms. Parrott, what the state wants and what you want.
Okay. I understand you.
Okay.
Now defense has
Thank
a
you.
choice. Defense has a choice to make.
May I have the witness back, please? And deputy, we're ready for the jury.
The state can't do what they want, but the defense also can't, or else the state may get what they want. So the defense has to decide if it's worth it. Is it worth bringing in this other statement? Because then the whole thing gets played, and it might be a net loss. Mrs. R.A. made more bread today because the 3 loaves she made yesterday were devoured by my children. I'm trying to get her to bring a slice of fresh baked bread, buttered, into my office. So far, my efforts have been unfruitful, but she did bring me a piece of chocolate, which I'm currently choking on. So, what kind? It's wheat bread, just homemade. She does everything but knead it by hand. She uses one of those white mixers, not a KitchenAid, but a doesn't use a bread machine. She makes it herself. She often will grind the wheat herself first. Not a mix master, it's the other one. I bought it for her and I can't remember what it's called. Bosch, that's it. It's a Bosch. Let's see, Mother Papillions. No, the one where the lawyer was told to bring his wallet and his toothbrush, that was actually Judge Oakley.
Thank you all. Please
That's
be
on the
seated.
28th. We've got Mr. Magoo coming
Thank
up.
you, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry for the delay. Ms. Hilton, when we adjourned, the state had offered Exhibit 74 into evidence, to which Mr. Wolfenbarger had objected, and the court is going to sustain that objection. 74 will not be admitted.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
After speaking with Diane, did you speak with anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did you speak with?
Christina Wolfenbarger,
And how did you speak with her?
by phone.
And was she able to provide you information regarding this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, after speaking with Christine and Diane, did you do anything else as relates to this investigation?
Yes, ma'am. I put together a synopsis and submitted it to the district attorney's office.
You said you put together a
A
synopsis?
synopsis of the case, I'm sorry.
And at that time, did the district attorney's office move forward with any charges?
No, ma'am.
And did you inform Ms. Patton of that?
Yes, ma'am.
Once you informed her that at that time the district attorney wasn't going to move forward with any charges, did she ask for you to interview anyone else?
Yes, ma'am.
Who did she ask for you to interview?
Rachel Karen Nelson Tucker and Kimberly Cameron.
And did you interview those people?
I could not locate Miss Cameron. I talked to Miss Nelson.
And in late December of 2016, did you receive a call from an investigator, St. John?
Yes, ma'am.
Objection.
What's the objection?
Privileged information.
Your Honor, we can approach. I can just let the court know where I'm going.
Objection, privileged information. She's like, okay, what is this now? Objection, privileged information. I've never heard of that before. Waffle House testimony makes sense with live chat playing. Yeah, it was wild.
Overruled. Go ahead, Ms. Hilton.
It's coming in, whatever it was, privileged or not.
Did you speak with an investigator, St. John?
Yes, ma'am.
And where was he an investigator?
Suwannee County, Florida.
Okay. And did he provide you information for you to follow up on?
Yes, ma'am.
And then yes or no, did you speak with a Pastor Mike Carson?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you speak with that person in January of 2017?
Yes, ma'am.
After January 2017, did you conduct any additional investigation in this case?
No, ma'am.
I have no further questions.
Thank you. Mr. McDermott?
Did I understand you correctly to testify that you were part of the cadaver dog search team that was at the house?
No, I was at the house, but I wasn't part of any team. Cadaver dog search team.
The cadaver dog search team was from another jurisdiction?
Correct.
Okay. And you said they did perform a search?
Yes.
Of the property, and they found nothing?
Correct.
Okay. And were you there when they performed the search?
I do not recall.
Okay. You said you put together a synopsis of the case?
Yes, sir.
Did that include a review of the crime lab reports?
The ones that I had at that time, yes.
Okay. And you said you did not file any charges at that time?
That's correct.
All right. No further questions?
Thank you. Anything else, Ms. Hilton?
Nothing from the state.
Okay, thank you. You may step down.
Thank you.
Ms. Hilton, state may call its next witness.
Your Honor, the state calls Investigator Richard Stein.
Okay.
So they don't play the corroborating evidence about, how to hide a body. Wasn't even interesting. Yeah, it was a false alarm.
Thank you, sir. You'll come up to the witness stand, and when you get there, before you have a seat, if you'll turn and face the deputy and raise your right hand, he'll swear you in.
You swear I'll find you the testimony that you're about to hear, true, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, says you got to see. Please state and spell the full name for the court, please.
Richard Stein, and my last name is S-T-E-I-N.
Mr. Stein, can you tell the court how you are currently employed?
I'm currently a captain with the Chattahoochee Hills Police Department.
How long have you been employed with Chattahoochee Hills?
For 2 years now.
Okay. What do you do as a captain there?
I oversee patrol and investigative functions.
All right. Prior to that, where were you employed?
I was employed by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. I was an assistant chief for, I want to say, probably about 2 years.
Okay.
And then I first started at the DA's office. I was an investigator, and I was just a standard investigator. I came in under Paul Howard back in 2019.
2019, okay. Are you familiar with when Paul Howard came into office? You familiar with that?
I know that he was in office for, I want to say, I believe it was like close to 30 years.
Okay.
If you would, sir, I apologize. Just get a little closer to that microphone.
Sure.
Thank you.
I believe Paul Howard at that time, I want to say was in for approximately 30 years or so.
Okay.
That he's been.
All right. And could you describe some of your duties at the Fulton County DA's office during your tenure?
Sure. When I first started, I was at the investigator for the crimes against women and children. Basically worked up child molestation cases, rape cases, aggravated assaults, Anything that basically dealt with domestic violence, I would say, was my forte at that time.
Okay. And so your testimony is that you came into the Fulton County DA's office under the Paul Howard administration around 2019?
Correct.
All right. When you left the Fulton County DA's office, were you assigned to any particular unit?
Yeah. When Madam DA came in, Willis, at that point, everybody that was here, we all had to basically submit applications, resumes, and they gave us out like a list of jobs or positions that were open. So everybody that was here before had to reapply. At that time, I reapplied, and I saw that there was a capital and cold case division that I was interested in, and that's what I went out for.
Okay. Prior to that, had there been a capital and cold case division at the Fulton County DA's office?
There was, I want to say, towards maybe the beginning. I'm not overly sure of Paul Howard's, but I do know that for whatever reason, it was disbanded.
Okay. And when did that, to the best of your recollection, when was that unit recreated in the DA's office?
It was recreated. I tested for it. I ended up getting it, and it was basically January 1st of 2021, I believe. When she took office, I was immediately transferred from my current assignment to capital and cold case. We had 2 attorneys and 2 investigators.
Okay. And when you came to that cold case unit, did it already have a caseload itself?
It had a caseload as far as they were putting it together. So we had a lot of cases, and we were getting basically buy-ins from the other police departments. So we were talking a lot with Atlanta Police Department, Roswell, all the agencies within Fulton, letting them know that this is what we had now, and this is what we were looking on doing. And we were basically setting up a full cold case unit, and we were going over the cases, and we asked them if they had cases, could they please forward to them, since they would have the best recollection of cases too.
Okay. And did at any point did the Fulton County DA's office start to receive, referrals of cases to investigate?
Yes. Okay. A list was put together. I want to say it was. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but it was a large list.
All right. And is that the point when you started looking into conducting internal investigations into the cold cases?
Correct. What we would do is go down. We would see what witnesses were still available, which witnesses may have passed away, and where witnesses were. We were also looking at the evidence of what cases had physical evidence, and just solvability factors, basically.
Okay. You say solvability factors. What do you mean by that?
Of which cases would have the greatest, per se, solvability factors if we still had, I hate to say it, a lot of living witnesses, then those were the cases that were more prone to go. Or if some of the witnesses were getting to the age, then you would almost have to triage and put which ones, could go first.
Is it safe to say you need evidence that you can bring into court? Is that safe to say?
Yes.
All right. At any point, did you and your team, and specifically referring you to the initiation of the cold case unit in Fulton County DA's office, did you begin to investigate the disappearance of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
How did you come to begin to investigate that case?
Originally, our 2 investigators was Adam Abate and, I'm sorry, not investigators, attorneys were Adam Abate and Adrian Love. The parents of Melissa Wolfenbarger came in, and then we ended up going out, and I want to say we went out to the scene location with a dog, and it just started from there. And then once we did that, then we started digging more and more into the case. We also contacted and met with APD, also, Detective Shepard.
Okay. And what year, if you can orient us, you said the administration came in 2021. What year are you talking about this is happening?
I would say that this all would have been back in probably 2021.
Okay. And at any point, did you and your team come up with, say, a complete list or checklist of things that needed to be done on this case? Yes. And just ballpark, how many tasks did you come up with that you decided needed to be completed?
Off the top of my head, I can't remember basically of like a number of tasks, but I could probably give more examples of what some of the tasks were.
Well, and if you could speak to that, what types of things were you looking to complete during that period?
We were looking at evidence. So what we wanted to do was see what physical evidence we had, and we checked with APD for them to get their hands on a lot of the evidence. A lot of people at that time kind of forget that APD went through that system of, I want to say it was around 2016. It was the late teens of where they had a hack. And a lot of their evidence, even though it was in the evidence room, was irretrievable. And I've had a couple of cases where we tried to go in there and find it, and we weren't able to find it.
And so when you talk about some of the evidence is irretrievable, what types of issues did you, and you're talking about 2016 hack, what is that?
Well, I had a case.
I would object to relevance unless it's about this case.
Yeah. Well, I'm just responding to that. There's the Atlanta Police Department, and we've heard evidence of at least one videotape that the police department had, and this is after this occurred after that evidence would have been in the property of the Atlanta Police Department. So I think this is part of the explanation of evidence that's come in during the course of this trial.
Okay, I'm going to allow it, but let's not go too far down that road.
Thank
you. Overruled, sir.
Okay.
You were testifying.
What we had was every now and then they had difficult locating it. So we would put in, so they may have, for example, I can't remember this case off the top of my head if there was anything that we weren't able to locate, but a phone. The phone was in their evidence room, but their evidence room is absolutely enormous. This was a separate case, and we were never able to get it. They wrote a letter saying that the phone, they had it, but it was irretrievable.
Okay. Now, you were referring to this list of items that needed to be completed. Was there an intent to present your investigation or the unit investigation to the DA for an indictment decision at some point?
Yes, yes. Basically, we all worked together on it, and we would go down the checklist. We would see what witnesses were still around. We would also go and see, like I said, what evidence and the possible testing methods to test the evidence in which we did find.
Okay. And did you look at conducting any types of tests in particular on evidence related to this case?
Yes.
And walk us through what were you attempting to test in particular?
Well, we ended up having select funds for testing and for DNA testing. There was a cutting edge DNA testing that Francis Bardole from Cold Case Solutions was doing with some success. It dealt with the MVAC system. So we were trying to go through and see what evidence we had that we could use this testing and send it off. And that's basically what we did, is we identified several pieces that we could send off to her.
Well, and so when you say pieces, what types of pieces are you referring to?
The evidence was basically where the severed head was found in a trash bag. So the trash bag had a knot to it. The knot was believed to be untampered with and not opened up or closed. So on her method is what she would do is hopefully take the knot, and she would test the knot, slowly unravel it, trying to pull out whatever DNA may have been in the knot, if there was any. And she's had some success. And that's basically of what we were doing at that time.
Okay. And would that have also been, what year would that have taken place?
That it probably would have been around I want to say the following year, maybe 2020. It's got to be 2022, I would imagine. I would have to see. I don't know if I have.
Okay.
Yeah, 2022 is probably when it was sent off, and I don't think we got the reports back until about 2023.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, did that result in information that allowed the office to proceed with an indictment?
To my knowledge, I don't know. The indictment part came after I ended up going to Chattahoochee Hills.
Okay. But to the best of your knowledge, the results of that didn't automatically trigger an indictment. As far
Didn't automatic. No, the results came back and everything. To the best of my knowledge, was inconclusive. It didn't really hold, unfortunately, any evidentiary type value.
And in addition to the bags themselves, was there anything else that was submitted for testing or comparison purposes?
I would need to see the list that we sent them, but it was basically just everything. I want to say it was several bags that were all sent out to Francine Bardol to test. I think some items were also some clothing. Okay. But again, I'm doing this off of memory.
All right. If you were to see a copy of the front part of the report, would that refresh your recollection as to some of the items that were tested?
It's because I know we sent buccal swabs with it.
And what is a buccal swab in particular?
A buccal swab is an oral swab for comparison.
Okay. And who would that buccal swab, would that have corresponded with a particular individual?
Yes.
And who would that have been?
It would have been with Mr. Wolfenbarger.
All right. And the testing that you're talking about this morning, is that part of the task at yourself and the unit at the DA's office? Is that part of the task that were, I guess, picked to complete before you presented that information to the DA?
Yes.
And your testimony is that once you left the DA's office, this case was still under investigation?
Yes.
And to the best of your knowledge, it was an active investigation when you left. Is that also correct?
That is correct.
All right. One moment, Judge.
Sure.
Sorry.
Mr. McDermott?
Excuse me,
I'm sorry? Do you have questions for this witness?
Oh, yes, ma'am, I'm ready. I do have questions.
Well, you're going to have to ask them because now is the time.
You stated that you went out to the scene where the body had been found.
Correct. About the dogs.
Or the remains had been found. And you were with a team of people?
Yes.
Who all was with you? Do you remember?
I believe the first thing I was sometimes butchered the name. I'm not great with names, but I believe it was Cheryl McCullum. She was a CSI, or she was a crime scene tech for Hapeville.
Is that what she does now?
I'm not sure if she's still with them or not.
Is she a popular podcaster on true crime?
I believe she does have a podcast, yes.
Was Karen Greer present at the news station?
Oh, the news station, yes. There was it ended up being a news clip about it, yes.
Okay.
And there was a canine from, it's been a while. I can't remember. Another type of canine unit.
And were any of the ADAs there?
Yes. At that time, it was Deputy District Attorney Adrian Love.
Okay. And that was what year? 2020, 2021?
It's got to be 2021, I would believe.
And okay. You said that one of the items you sent in for DNA testing was the bag that the head had been in.
I believe so. I'd really like to see the list if possible.
And I'll show it to you.
Okay, thank you.
But you described there being knots tied in these bags, and
correct.
That would have hopefully left, whoever tied those knots may have left trace DNA evidence there.
Correct.
And that's what you would have been looking for in these tests.
Yes.
Was trace DNA. Okay. May I approach, Your Honor?
Yes.
I'm going to show you this.
All right.
Okay, so I think what you're asking for is going to be beginning here.
Okay.
Beginning here. But I want you to take note of the date as well.
November 23rd. Yep. That sounds about.
Or just read it.
And I will also ask you about this document as well.
Sure. Let me just take one more look at this. Is this the same? No, this is the final.
Right.
Okay.
We'll come back to that.
That's fine. All right.
Little light reading for the witness here. We'll have some questions.
Do you recognize those documents?
Yes.
And what do those documents appear to be?
They are, well, it's a report from where it was sent to Francine Bardol, and it looks like this is where she used the MFAC filter, and it's explaining each item, what the filter was bag containing.
So is it fair to say that those reports are reports from the DNA testing agency or company?
Yes. So there were two separate companies involved.
Who are these reports from?
All right. This one, this one's all from Pure Gold.
And you've referenced Francine Bardol. Is her name on that?
Right. So Francine Bardol is, here she is, but her company's listed underneath.
Okay.
Cold Case Solutions and Resources.
So it appears she was subcontracting out the work.
Correct. What she would do is that she would process the evidence, and then there was only very limited places that was able to do the DNA in a short time frame, and that's where we used the other company. I want to say that it was Susan Ryan was the one that worked the evidence.
Okay. And in the list, I'll ask you in a minute.
Sure.
And does that list reflect an item 8.1?
Yes.
And what was item 8.1?
It says a bag containing had a mixture of DNA. Do you want me to read it?
Sure, go ahead and read the results, if you will.
Okay. A mixture of DNA consists with originating from at least 5 contributors, with at least 2 male contributors, was obtained from item number 5.
5 contributors.
And now if you would please.
Yes.
Would you please read the results on that second report that was sent?
Yes. On this one, it says Christopher Wolfenbarger is excluded as a possible contributor to the mixture obtained from item 8.1.
Can you say that part a little louder? Did you say
excluded?
excluded?
To the disabilities.
What are the exhibit numbers?
And I would like to move to interstate our defendants 8 and 9, please.
And because there's a stipulation, Mr. Fawcett, I assume there's no objection?
No objection.
Okay, defendants 8 and 9 are admitted. Go ahead.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Fawcett, additional follow-up for this witness?
No further questions.
Thank you, sir. You may sit down.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, just because we just had a recent break, I was planning to take a little bit, to keep going and take a little bit later lunch. Okay, getting nods. So,
yeah, we're nodding.
Mr. Fawcett, the state may call its next witness.
The state calls Detective Shepard.
Detective Shepard. One of these guys has to have something. Push the needle a little bit. Forward the case. Give us some evidence, something the jury can sink their teeth into. Otherwise, this might be a very quick deliberation. Judge is getting ready to do the old Kleenex test. We'll hear that on mic here in just a moment. Yeah, it wasn't compelling at the end result. We tested the DNA mixture, 5 people.
Proceed if you'll turn and face the deputy and raise your right hand to swear you in.
And we excluded the defendant.
What are part of the testimony that you're about to give the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, self God? I do. Now have a seat. Please state and spell your full name for the court.
Detective Jarian Shepard. That's JARIONSHEPHARD.
Oh, I like that beaded necklace thing the lanyard has got. I'm sure it's got a badge at the bottom of it, but I want one.
Detective Shepard, where are you currently employed?
The Atlanta Police Department Homicide Unit.
And in what capacity?
I currently work within the homicide unit, our cold case and complex squad that we have within the unit.
How long have you been employed with the Atlanta Police Department?
Close to 23 years.
And can you describe your duties?
Yes, I primarily work cold case and complex cases within the homicide unit, whatever complex case comes up in the city limits of Atlanta, and of course cold cases.
Okay. How many homicide cases would you say you've worked at the city?
Close to 500.
All right. And if you could walk us through, how do you begin the process of receiving information on a case and then beginning the investigation?
So instead of a cold case, when a homicide comes in, we get the location, we verify the location, the venue, make sure it's inside the city limits of Atlanta. We respond to the scene, we make sure that scene is secure. We make sure the evidence has all been numbered and appropriately documented.
Okay.
It's got an APD homicide lanyard as well.
And
a much neater tie than the previous witness.
What about what is considered a cold case?
When all investigative leads have been exhausted.
And what does that mean when you say investigative leads?
So, say for instance, witnesses, they've been spoken with. There's no leads on new witnesses. Evidence that's gone stale. Things of that nature make a case go cold.
Okay. Is there a specific unit at the Atlanta Police Department designated to look into cases that have been unsolved?
Yes, that's currently the cold case squad that I'm a part of.
Okay. And when did you become a part of that unit?
Within the cold case unit, I would say around 2020.
How many cases you currently assign?
Primarily, I'm close to 100 cases.
All right. And how do you determine which of your cases to prioritize in your cold case, the amount of cold cases that you have?
So, of course, we look at the solvability factors. We take a look at each case, determine what factors need to be looked at first. We make that a priority. In those cases, we do take a more in-depth look at.
Okay. And at the time you came into investigating this case, and we're talking about the State versus Christopher Wolfenbarger, were you knowledgeable about the previous investigation that had been done?
Correct.
What did you do to become familiar with the previous work that had been done on this case?
So the first thing I do when I get a cold case, I get the entire file. I look over the file, I read it. Make copies of everything so I can make my personal notations. Document all witnesses that are available. I make a priority list on who I need to interview, what I need to interview. Make a list of the evidence that's available within the case. And also be sure to contact the original detective if he's available, he or she's available.
Okay. And who was the original detective on this case?
Detective Calhoun.
All right. All right. Did you meet with Detective Calhoun?
I did.
How many times throughout your investigation and after the case was indicted did you meet with Detective Calhoun?
Numerous times. We spoke on the phone. We met in person.
Okay. Did you review Detective Calhoun's reports that he wrote prior to his retirement?
I did. And also summarized all of his case file, his notes. And of course, I like to always have the original detective read over it to make sure it's accurate.
Okay. Did you look into the background and lifestyle of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
I did.
And at the time you came into the investigation, did you have a suspect in mind, a person of interest?
Yes.
And who was that?
Christopher Wolfenbarger.
And was there anything about the background of Melissa Wolfenbarger and her lifestyle that led you to focus on Christopher Wolfenbarger?
Yes, they had a violent, tumultuous relationship between the two.
Where did you receive information, or where did you look to find information about the lifestyle of Melissa?
The first thing we like to look at is, of course, what's documented, police reports and things of that nature.
Did you speak to her relatives?
I did.
Did you attempt to locate and speak to people that were friends with Melissa?
Yes.
What about anyone that lived on the street or in the same area as the Brookline residents?
Yes.
Did you also look in to see if there were any previous state or criminal cases related to domestic violence?
Yes.
All right. And what in particular can you say about investigating homicide cases, in particular homicide cases where there might be domestic violence involved? What can you say, tell the jury about those types of investigations?
We come across those type of investigations often. They're also a result of some type of passion that includes jealousy and things of that nature. That's really what kind of resonates when it comes to domestic violence cases.
Okay. And are you familiar with domestic violence cases where there's been a case or a protective order that has been issued in connection with the case?
Correct, yes.
Is that something that happens often?
It is, especially when you have one partner that's very aggressive. And of course, the victim in that situation, if they're very afraid, and that's the one of the recourse that they can take.
The state didn't know the results excluded the defendant. Some of the witnesses they've called just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you call them other than it's just like, well, he's somebody who's on the file. You don't have to call everybody you ever talk to just because, somebody talked to him. Look at the last trial, he was found guilty with not much evidence there. Even Canton knew not to call Proctor. Got a little sidebar going on here or something. Karen, no. He had a previous spouse? Previous to Melissa? Or was it after that?
Your Honor, at this time I have several self-authenticating documents I would tender into evidence at this time. I have Exhibit 24, which is a certified document of a petition seeking relief from family violence. That is, it states Exhibit 24.
Mr. McDermott? I'm sorry, Mr. Samuel?
We just reviewed them. We don't object to these documents.
Okay, thank you. Exhibit 24 is admitted.
Okay. I have Exhibit 26. It's a certified self-authenticating document. It is the Rule 9 Psi from that, setting that court date down. So it's Exhibit 26.
26 is admitted.
I have State's Exhibit 28. It is the state certified document. It is the actual formal motion to debt docket the case, a formal case, the battery case in March of 1999. And that is Exhibit 28.
Okay. No, there was no objection by the defense, so 28 is also admitted.
And I have printed out a copy of what was admitted yesterday, Exhibit 27. That's a self-authenticating document. It is the request for dismissal.
Right. It's already in evidence.
That was 27.
27.
Yes, sir. All right.
I have boosted the court audio and I hadn't boosted mine. Is that a little better? Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that.
Okay. Now, For the record, Detective Shepard, I'm going to publish what's been tendered and admitted as State's Exhibit 24.
A little of both here, Camilla.
All right. Do you see that State's Exhibit?
Yes.
And what is that?
That looks like a protective order.
Okay. What is a protective order?
It's a temporary protective order. It's an order given by the court to the person that's seeking this order for some type of protection from the person that they're putting a TPO against. We call it TPO, a temporary protective order.
All right. Now, when you looked at the information, the notes, the summaries from Detective Calhoun, when you spoke to family and friends, were you aware that there was a July 21st, 1998 battery committed by this defendant against Mr. Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a chance to look at the reports related to that?
I did.
Were you aware upon reviewing those reports that there were visible observed injuries to the person of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes.
All right. At that point, were you concerned, or did you at least factor that this could be related to domestic violence?
Absolutely.
All right. Was that why Mr. Wolfenbarger was the primary suspect?
Yes.
And does it indicate on State's Exhibit 26 the marital status of Melissa Wolfenbarger's claim?
Yes, that she was married.
Okay. And does it also indicate living in the same household?
Yes.
Now, after a petition is ordered by the court, you're familiar with court dates that would be scheduled subsequent to that. Are you familiar with those court dates?
Yes.
Is that fairly common for a petitioner to file a complaint and then have a court order a date for that issue to be heard?
Yes, it's very common.
Okay. I am publishing State's Exhibit. Yeah, State's Exhibit 26. Can you tell the court what that is?
That's going to be the petition for court.
All right. Well, is that in fact the Rule 9 setting it down to July 29th?
Correct.
Okay, and that's 1998. So that would that have been the date that Melissa and the defendant would have showed up to, I guess, address whether or not there should have been a protective order in place. Is that correct?
Yes, correct.
All right.
Judge Simpson has taken down his live stream for right now. I'm not sure if it'll come back up. We have not seen Mr. Magoo yet today, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Now I'm going to publish State's Exhibit 27.
Wish they wouldn't whisper and cut out so much of audio.
Melissa and the defendant would have showed up to court.
Yes, it is.
Based on the previous paperwork.
Yes, it is.
All right. Now, is that the first time you've heard of where a petitioner would request for a case to be dismissed?
It's not that you don't see that often.
Okay. What about victims of domestic violence in cases that you've investigated not wanting to proceed with the investigation? Is that uncommon?
No, that's not uncommon.
What do you mean by that?
Usually when the victims of domestic violence, it's a pattern, a toxic pattern they fall back into with the person, with the abuser, and they usually fall right back into that pattern.
Yeah. So when you see requests for dismissal, are you at this point, are you disregarding the possibility of there being ongoing domestic violence?
No, I'm not disregarding that at all.
Now,
whisper, whisper.
Turn your attention to State's Exhibit 28. To the best of your knowledge, did that case involving this defendant for the July 1998 attack against Melissa Wolfenbarger, did that ever make its way to court?
No, it did not.
And do you know why?
She never showed up for court.
Okay. And referring you to State's Exhibit 28, do you see what's on that board?
Yes.
And can you read what is depicted in writing under the motion to get document?
Is it unable to locate victim, warrant case, violation and probation for non-reporting.
Okay. And what date is that that document was signed?
March 15th, 1999.
Okay. Do you recall the date that, based on your investigation, that the head of Melissa Wolfenbarger was located across the Avon Avenue location?
I believe it's in April 99.
Okay, so that's after, roughly about a month after that.
Correct.
All right. A month after they had dismissed the case because they couldn't find her, essentially.
Correct.
Did you look into whether or not Melissa and the defendant had any children?
I did.
And what did your investigation reveal?
He had a boy. They had a boy together and a young female.
And what about living conditions? Where were the children living at the time of the death?
With Christopher's mother.
Did you actually make your way to the Avon Avenue location?
I did.
And did you go to the Brookline Street location?
I did.
All right. How many times have you gone out to that location?
Multiple times.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as State's Exhibit 76. Tell the court if you recognize that location.
Yes, it's an overall bird's eye view of the location where her head and extremities were found.
Okay. And specifically, is that an overall view of the Avon Avenue location?
Correct.
And is that an overall view of the location where Action Glass, the business, is located?
Correct.
And did you also, had you been to those locations, observing with your own eyes?
Yes.
Had you also actually gone and visited the residence at 824 Brookline Street, where the Wolfenbargers lived at during that period?
Yes.
And is that location depicted on that State's Exhibit 76 as well?
Yes, it's all contained in this photo.
All right. And the depiction listed on State's Exhibit 76, is it a fair and accurate representation of that area that contains the Avon Avenue location, Action Glass, and the 824 Brookline Street location?
Correct.
Your Honor, at this time, the State moved to tender into evidence State's Exhibit 76.
No objection. Go ahead. It's admitted.
Permission to publish?
Permission granted.
Need to have a class on full screen. There we go.
Okay. Now, with the court's permission, Detective Shepard, if you could point to the location where Action Glass is.
It's here.
All right. And the significance of
time the lawyers start whispering to each other, we have to mute all of court audio.
All right. And Brookline area, you actually see the Brookline Street?
Correct.
All right. Now, did you actually yourself go to the locations where the head was located?
Yes, I did.
As well as the extremities?
Yes.
All right. In relationship to the job where Wolfenbarger worked and the residence, did you show the jury on the map where the head and extremities were located?
So Action Glass 858 Avon is here. The head was roughly here, and the extremities was located in this area.
Okay. And did you actually walk that location between where the head was located, the extremities, and Action Glass?
Yes.
Generally, can you talk this to how many feet, if you can recall that distance would be?
Maybe 30 feet.
Okay. All right. And did you drive that location from Action Glass to the 824 Brookline Street?
Yes.
And roughly how long of a drive is that?
Less than a minute.
Okay. Is that the geography, the location of the residence, the job, was that significant at all in your investigation?
Absolutely, it was significant.
And why is that?
It's all in close proximity to Christopher Wolfenbarger's work address, home address, and the location where we found everything.
I have a viral video of that, Helen, on TikTok, about 16 million views. That's why I have my chain.
Now, as far as the actual remains of Melissa Wolfenbarger that were located, you aware all of her remains were located?
Melissa's torso has never been found.
And did that, was there anything about that caused you to look into anything else in terms of this investigation?
It did. It raised a lot of suspicion because she was under the belief that she was pregnant.
Okay. And why was that significant in your investigation?
I thought it was significant because that's the only portion of her body that was never found.
Did you have evidence, or did you uncover in your investigation that Melissa Wolfenbarger was involved with another male at that time?
I did.
Did you know that person to be Thomas Dixon?
It is him, correct.
And did you receive any information during the course of your investigation that Christopher Wolfenbarger was aware of Thomas Dixon?
I did.
And what information did you receive?
Of course, Thomas Dixon stated it, but also Christopher admitted that she was possibly involved with the male.
Okay. Did he have any other information about that male that she may have been involved with other than a male?
That they worked in the same Waffle House.
Okay. Was that the information that led you to believe that it was Thomas Dixon?
Correct.
Was that impactful to you, the fact that the defendant was aware of who Melissa Wolfenbarger was seeing?
Yes, it was.
And why is that?
Because that, again, when I spoke about jealousy being a main component of domestic violence, that raised a red flag for me immediately.
Okay.
Is that all you got? You got more?
Now, you mentioned let me ask you this. Is it significant at all for a homicide investigator to try to determine the cause of death?
It is significant.
Did you make an attempt to determine the cause of death in this case?
Yes.
And in doing that, did you observe the remains of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
I did.
Was there anything significant about the remains of Melissa Wolfenbarger that led you to look in any other directions during the course of your investigation?
No, her head was removed with a saw.
Okay. You mentioned a saw.
Correct.
All right. Is it your testimony that at some point a saw became important in your investigation?
It was very important in my investigation.
All right. Did you observe remains and what appeared to be marks on the remains?
Yes.
And at any point in your investigation, did you make an attempt to see if the defendant had been in possession of the saw at some point?
I did.
What efforts did you make to determine that?
I interviewed his former employers.
Okay. Who was that?
That was Mr. Brock at the Action Glass at 858 Avon.
All right. Where did you interview them at?
In their residence.
Now, was that the only time that they had been interviewed by law enforcement?
No, during the early part of the investigation, they were interviewed by Detective Calhoun.
Okay. And you interviewed them again?
Correct.
Ronald Brock?
Yes.
Cindy Brock?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of you interviewing them?
We always like to follow up and tie up any loose ends. And significant enough time had passed, so I needed to follow up and make sure.
Okay.
With that interview.
Did you inquire about Saul in particular on the date that you interviewed them when you went out?
I did.
Were they able to provide you information?
Yes.
What information did they provide you?
Hearsay, Your Honor, objection.
And in response to that, Judge,
Brock's?
Yes.
Okay.
As it relates to Cindy Brock's statement, her statement in particular has been the foundation was laid and it was impeached. That statement was played in front of the jury. So at this point, it's substantive evidence. It would be admissible.
What?
I'm going to overrule the objection, Mr. Sandy.
And
it's substantive.
Christopher was terminated because it was believed that he stole a saw, a reciprocal saw.
Okay. So they recalled the saw?
Correct.
They recalled him, I guess, a belief at that time that he took it?
Correct.
And they also recalled never receiving the saw back. Is that also correct?
Correct.
All right. And was that consistent with the remains that you observed of Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Yes, her limbs and her head were removed by saw because there were saw tool markings on those bones.
Now, you referenced an interview with this defendant. Well, a statement that he made.
Correct.
Where did that take place?
At his home.
Do you recall the time period of that interview?
It was early on when I got the case. I want to say it's back in 2021. It took place at his residence in Griffin, Georgia.
Okay. And would that have been roughly the same year you got assigned this case?
Correct.
All right. Who was present when that interview took place?
My supervisor at the time, Sergeant Layton.
So just yourself and Sergeant Layton?
Correct.
All right. Who was present at the residence, Christopher Wolfenbarger, when you arrived?
It was a young lady who answered the door. I don't recall her name, but he described her as his wife, and just her and Christopher. I'm sorry.
All right. How long did that take place? The interview itself, yes.
Approximately maybe an hour, a little bit over.
All right. And was this outside, inside? Where in the residence did this take place?
It was inside of his living room.
Okay. All right. So it's yourself, Sergeant Layton, and the defendant?
Correct.
All right. Was he willing to speak with you at that time?
Yes, he was.
All right. At any point, did you tell the defendant he was under arrest?
No point.
Did you have your cuffs out? Did you point a gun at him?
No, it was non-custodial.
Okay. And so you never told the defendant that he wasn't free to leave?
Never.
Did you give him the impression that it wasn't voluntary what he was speaking to you? He didn't have a choice to voluntarily make a statement to you?
No, I did not give him that.
All right. And did you make an attempt to find out information about his wife's disappearance at the time you interviewed him?
Yes.
In particular, did you make an attempt to inquire as to why he didn't report his wife missing?
I did.
Was that when you were able to, I guess, get confirmation that he was aware of Thomas Dixon as well?
Correct.
And did you make an attempt to get information about whether the defendant was in possession of a saw at any point?
I did.
And did he speak to you about all those items?
Yes, he spoke to me about all of them.
So I hand you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 30 and 38. Have you had an opportunity to look at these exhibits?
Yes, I have.
Okay. And specifically as to 30A, you looked at that exhibit?
Correct.
And what is that exhibit?
It's the interview, recorded interview with Christopher.
All right. On the date that you've been testifying to?
Yes, sir.
And is it a fair and accurate representation of the interview that took place on that day?
Yes.
All right. That's Exhibit 30. I have Exhibit 38. Have you had a chance to review and sign the back of this document as well?
Yes.
All right. And is this also an interview that you conducted with the defendant on the day you've been testifying to?
Correct.
All right. And is this also a fair and accurate representation of that interview that you conducted?
Yes.
Your Honor, at this time, the state will continue to evidence State's Exhibit 30, which is an interview conducted by Detective Shepard, and State's Exhibit 30A, which is a redacted interview by Detective Shepard.
Mr. Samuel?
We need to confirm the redaction, but no objection assuming that.
Okay. Exhibit 30 is admitted. Exhibit 30A is admitted subject to confirmed redactions.
Well, so 30 is not in evidence. 30A is.
He's offered it into evidence.
Can we approach?
Sure.
Your Honor, I'm confused. Can somebody tell me the score? Where are we at? If you don't object and he offers it into evidence, and then he starts playing it, and then that's not the right time to say, oh, can we confirm some redactions? Do that first.
And for the record, Your Honor, this may be about 12 minutes just for timing purposes.
Okay.
Contentious relationship, borrowed a saw from work, might not have returned it, and did not report his wife missing. And then you've got the hid from cops when they came to get him. All circumstantial.
I planned on it.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because I need to give the jury just a little bit of instruction.
Yes.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment, the state's going to play an audio recording that they've offered into evidence. You will likely notice, I think you've heard me and the lawyers mention some redactions. You'll likely notice as you watch it that things have been removed. I want to instruct you that the fact that things have been removed is not any concern of yours, and that you shouldn't speculate about what was removed or why it was removed or what might have been there that the court instructed. Understand that it's been done at my direction. And again, concern yourself with what's being demonstrated to you, not what might have also been there. Okay? Thank you all. Mr. Fawcett, the state may demonstrate the evidence that they choose.
Are you still choosing? I think he's going to do it. Oh, he's looking for something. Lots of water bottles there on the prosecution side. They got a little of everything.
I mean, before that, where was she working? At that time, the Waffle House up in, like, she worked that one, and the little one, Eastern Corners up there. Where were you working? At the glass company around the corner.
All right, so when was the last time you saw Melissa?
And that's the thing, I don't quite remember if the last time was, because I remember, like, she would come and go, okay, and we'll say that it wasn't like, we're happy-go-lucky, she's sitting right here one day, and then she was up and gone. And I don't know if that's the way.
So would you describe your relationship as tumultuous or like on again, off again?
It was rocky there towards the end, mainly I think because it was her family so far trying to get back in her head and trying to make her think things and do things and
like what?
Man, she never had a relationship with her sister at all. And then there towards the end, I guess everybody has a need to want, family and want to feel loved and want that type of thing. And I think there towards the end, maybe she she tried a little to try to get back with him or to do what, but I don't think it was near what they made it seem like, that she was there all the time, or she would leave cards and pictures. And I know that did happen sometimes. She did, spend that time, but the struggle that we had a common goal of what we were trying to accomplish. We had several blocks in a row.
Which was to go to California.
Just to get away with the kids that and all this. She didn't want Norman in the house. She didn't want her to be raised like she was and everything right there. There was no, we knew that her age was bad and that anybody could do it right there in the
Okay, so when was the last time you saw her?
But the last actual time I remember was like, I woke up and she was gone. Like we were in another night and she left. And I don't know if that was the last time or the last time when I dropped her off at the train station to go to work. If it was the exact.
Do you remember telling Detective Calhoun that the last time you saw her, you were driving up to your house on Brookline and saw her walking down the street? And that was the last time you saw her?
I don't know who was saying that, but it's possible.
Okay.
I just don't.
So basically you said that was the last time you saw her, that she said she was going to a train station. But something to that effect. I'm not saying verbatim that's what you said, but it was something along the lines.
Possible. Okay. I'll give you that.
But does that sound like it's accurate?
Again, it could be. Okay. I don't know.
Do you remember that incident, or can you recall that happening almost about the home, driving up and her walking down the road? Does that ring any bells?
I mean, that's usually the way it happened because we only had one car.
Okay.
If there was.
She was walking to the train station to try to go to work or something?
Or I give her a ride, or she, sometimes she just wanted to walk.
Okay.
The train station, we're not talking about that train station far away. We're talking about here, like to the end of the road.
Right, I got you. Yeah, no, within the city, so I understand. But talking about that specifically, do you remember that day specifically? Did you remember?
Why is that relevant?
Well, I would like to ask you, what was she wearing? Do you remember? Did she have a purse with her?
I don't know.
So you don't, but the last time you saw her, when you came back home, and she wasn't there, where was her stuff? She didn't have a car, she couldn't move it, so it was still there in the house?
I would assume. I mean, if she left it just like that, it was only like just a small. I mean, kind of the same thing I did. I mean, when I lost my job and moved, my grandparents were going to sell the house and everything. When I left, I didn't take hard enough. I went to live in my office. So whatever little.
After the last time you saw her, or back when she left, did you tell her family? Did you tell your family? You didn't tell her that your wife left?
I mean, she had left many times before that. When she would leave and go, I never knew that was the last time I was going to see her. If I did, I would have, freaking kept her there.
After like a month or two, you didn't think that was...
After a while, I was thinking that she had split and moved on. I mean, there was, she was maybe seeing the guy and everything that was up there, or I know that she was living with in Buford or Joe. I can't remember the last one with Buford or Eastern Corners.
Was she seeing somebody else?
I don't know if she was seeing somebody else, but there was this dude, and I want to say his girlfriend, that sometimes that she would stay with him in like a common lodge out that way. And
how did she know these people?
She worked with them.
Worked with the girl or the guy?
I want to say the guy and the girl both worked there, but I could be wrong. I knew the guy worked there, but I knew that it was a couple. Because then there was one time that they had called me and said that they were moving and she had to go do something, and then she had to do something else.
They're talking about Thomas at the Waffle House.
Before the last time you saw her, right?
Well,
that's what I'm saying. I'm just wondering.
I'm
not misunderstanding you.
Right.
I'm not trying to trick you or confuse you.
No,
I just want you to remember.
I'm trying to figure it out.
You were there, I was, so that's why if I want to clear that, I just want you to be accurate. All right, so a year goes by, still don't tell anybody that she's gone.
I mean, I'm figuring that she's already done. I mean, we were always talking about changing her name and doing all. She had the stuff there.
Right.
You know, when she got to the point where she was unhappy with me. I'm not trying to push myself in anybody's life that doesn't want me there. I mean, I look at my daughter and everything that's going on there. And I tried to push. And maybe looking back at this now, I was wrong. All the way around with both of them. Maybe I should try to push more and try to do it, but
you said you lost your job, but with the job at the last company, why did you lose your job?
man, this guy, now, there was a lot of things going on right there with that, but, and I do now the same thing pretty much I did then. I mean, I worked on Volkswagen and things on the side, and there was a guy there, I don't know who stole the thing, there was a saw that was missing. And I can tell you the exact guy that I borrowed this tool from and everything there, I didn't steal their saw. Period.
Why did they lie?
Because he said I stole the saw. Because their saw was missing, and I lived around the corner and he drove past my house and he seen the back of the Volkswagen right there, the top was cut off.
So he thought because you cut something off your car that
you know, and I thought, look, I don't know anything about it. You know, and then there was that, and then there was something where I drove through the toll plaza thing on 400. You know, there was just a bunch of little things, and that was just the last straw.
Maybe you drove through the toll plaza.
You know, there used to be a thing where you could go through it.
Right.
You know, and I was under the understanding. Yeah.
Okay.
I was under the understanding that, you know, there was things and there was just a bunch of little things. That was just the last straw. There was nothing, you know, there was no.
They just let you go.
Right.
They didn't file any charges.
Yeah. Well, man, I didn't do it, and you know, it goes there where I've always thought I tried to tell them whatever, but like I said, the last straw is the last straw. But
did you ever go up to the Waffle House and get an altercation with the mail?
I don't remember. I saw that on the internet. I don't remember that.
You guys said you came up there and beat you up.
And it seems like I would remember that, but I don't know.
You driving a yellow Volkswagen?
I never had a yellow.
Never color yellow.
What?
What? You never yellowed?
Never. No, I've never had a yellow. I have a thing against yellow cars, actually.
Okay. Alright. What do you think happened to us?
Man, every which way I think about it, it has to go back. If her parents didn't do it directly, it had to be something indirectly around them. I would beat my brain.
So when you found out that a body was found just around the corner from where you were, and that the body had been dismembered with a saw,
I didn't know that the body was dismembered with a saw at all.
Do you know the body was dismembered?
I heard that. Nobody ever said a saw. I didn't hear about autopsy before, sir. Nobody ever gave me an autopsy. Nobody said that to me. I didn't know that until it was on the internet. Honest to God, I mean.
So what motive would her family have to kill?
I mean, for me, it's kind of strange that they got away with this stuff for all these years, and then all of a sudden, right, as we split up and doing this right here, and all of a sudden he ends up guilty. I don't know if she came to them needing money, or...
So you think it's likely that her own family murdered her up and cut her up?
Man, her own family killed her family and friends.
Yeah, I know he committed murder, but that's...
So his family and friends.
Well, why would he kill her? What would be the motive for that?
Hey, man,
if he's involved in, your family's involved in criminality and you're trying to protect yourself from going to jail, that's a motive to kill someone. What motive would he had to kill her?
No, we knew what he did. Her dad was like
so you weren't worried about him coming after you? I mean, if he's going to cut up his own daughter, would cut you up.
How would he come after me? I didn't do anything. I didn't come in. Here's what I'm saying, okay? I don't know if she needed money, and they come to him and threaten him in any kind of way, and, you know, and they did, maybe they were drunk, and then one thing, but I don't know. Anything I say at this point is speculation, because I don't know. But I feel like the hell, if they're serial killers that have killed their family and friends and something happens to their family. Okay, first of all, serial killers operate those. It's kind of unusual. Okay, let's talk about this, okay? Well, I'm not here to talk about I'll deal with their family and speculation. Well, let's look at facts. Facts. You said that she was put in bags. I didn't say that. Well, that's what it says on the internet, that she was in her lockers. I didn't say that. So was she put in bags? Well, I said that. Look, we're being straight up with you. I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to work this out. From what I understand, the body parts had washed out of an area onto the street. Now, there were bags recovered there, so could you make the assumption that they may have been in bags? Yes. But I wasn't there to see, so I can't. Nobody has been straight up with me on this, okay? And everything that I'm learning is basically through the internet. And we all know how the internet lies, and it's a whole thing. I agree with you 100%. Everything that the internet said about me, living under a different name, trying to hide their definitely lie. And that's why I'm not asking you about that, because I'm not going to go off some speculation from the internet.
And that's where we end it. I'm not going to go off on some speculation from the internet.
12 minutes and 31 seconds. Your Honor, for the record, that stopped at 12 minutes and 31 seconds. And we'll proceed with testimony. Now, Detective Shepard, we've just heard the interview. That was the interview you've been testifying about?
Yes, sir.
And at the conclusion of that interview, was the defendant free to go about his way?
Yes, he was.
All right. Did you get the answers that you were looking for, or the information that you were looking for related to the saw in question?
I did.
And what about information you inquired as to whether or not he actually looked for his wife?
I did.
And as you were investigating the case, was that just looking at what you would expect? Was that what you expected Christopher Wolfenbarger to do? Did you expect him to look for Miss Melissa Wolfenbarger?
Absolutely. It's a red flag, a giant red flag for me. I would expect for a husband to look for their missing wife, and that's what he did not do.
All right. Now, that interview is in 2021, and do you continue your investigation after that?
Yes.
And in the course of continuing your investigation, do you attempt to continue to interview witnesses?
Yes.
At this point, had you located Thomas Dixon?
Yes.
All right. And what year did you locate Thomas Dixon?
I just recently was able to sit down with Thomas Dixon.
Okay. Well, specifically in 2021, were you able to locate Thomas Dixon?
No, he had a lot of different addresses, and every address that I checked, he was not there anymore.
Okay. So you looked in multiple places. Is that your testimony?
All over North Georgia, yes.
And that was at the beginning of in 2021 when you started?
Correct.
And your testimony is that very recently you spoke to Thomas Dixon. Is that also correct?
Yes.
And when did you actually speak with Thomas Dixon?
I would say maybe a couple of weeks ago.
Okay. Did that impact your ability to proceed with the investigation, being able to locate certain witnesses, in particular, Mr. Dixon?
Yes, it's always a good impact when I can actually get hands on a witness and talk to him face to face.
Did you make any attempts to locate Miss Diane Perot?
I did.
And were you successful in that?
I believe Miss Perot is deceased.
Okay. Is that what your investigation revealed?
Correct.
And is that one of the common issues the police department faces when investigating cold cases?
Yes, every year that the case gets cold, it's potential to lose witnesses and involved parties.
Okay. At any point, do you present your investigation to the DA's office for an indictment decision?
Yes.
And what year do you do that?
Just recently, last year.
Okay, the 2024?
Correct.
And after an indictment, what happens after an indictment?
So once a warrant has been obtained and it's been indicted, of course, we assign all of our outstanding warrants to our fugitive unit.
Okay. And you familiar with Sergeant O'Hare?
Correct.
And who was Sergeant O'Hare in relationship to this case?
He was the investigator in charge of apprehending Christopher.
Okay. Do you look to see how a person responds when they're confronted or confronted by law enforcement, in particular with an arrest warrant?
Yes.
Do you look to see if that person is cooperative or if they attempt to get away or do something else?
Yes.
And did you have an impression in this case as whether or not the defendant was cooperative?
No, the defendant was not cooperative in this case.
What do you mean by that?
I understand that at the time of his apprehension, he hid in a makeshift cupboard behind an appliance inside of his home. It took him maybe 30 minutes to find him.
And why was that significant?
Well, it's significant
Doesn't mean
because
he's guilty is what he's charged with.
He's obviously made an attempt to evade arrest. And I thought that was kind of odd because it's almost like it was anticipation that it was coming.
One moment, Judge.
Sure.
Could mean he was involved in something else. If he was selling illicit substances to people illegally, he might have had a plan to escape.
Samuel, can y'all come over just a minute?
Y'all come up here for a minute. Pick up your papers. Y'all get your butts up here, says the judge. Get your butts up here. We're gonna have a sidebar. Yeah, it doesn't make him guilty, at least of what he's charged with. Nobody wants.
We're going to break for lunch. So it's 12:56. We're going to call that 1 o'clock and then try and get you back in here as close to 2 p.m. as we
Apparently,
can.
we've just changed the
Thank
time
you all very
for
much.
all of
We
y'all.
are on break for lunch.
You thought it was 12:56.
Yes, sir.
It is now 1 by order of the judge. So, a couple things are going on. Let me take you around the woods here. We've got Adelson. Jury selection just finished the first round. They're going to lunch right now. Judge Simpson is doing Simpson-y things
the gentleman got
right
out
now.
and said something. I saw them speaking to each other. At that time, my husband pulled out his phone and wanted to document it.
Thank you, sir. You may step down.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
that's
Sir,
happening.
you're also excused until 2.
We're waiting for Mr. Magoo to appear in that court.
Um,
There's the defendant, probably one of the best
Any
shots we've
matters
got
we
of
need
him.
to, the jury's clear, y'all can have a seat. Any matters we need to take up?
Well, we need to take up the issue of the expert.
Yes.
We can do now or at the end of the lunch break, either way.
Yeah, I mean, it really is entirely up to y'all. My intention was to either do it now or to have you come back at 1:45 and do it then. What are your thoughts?
1:45.
Okay, so the lawyers will all come back at 1:45 and we will resume then. Thank you.
And thank you for the message, Judge. I'm going to file you right now.
Nope.
All right. So as we go to lunch here, we're waiting on Judge Simpson for Mr. Magoo. Mr. Magoo is a pro se sort of soft sit defendant who has had many run-ins with the judge and does not appear to be learning his lesson. Although he has sort of got standby assistant counsel, and he might have some representation today. He has, I believe it was drunk driving charge was originally, and then driving without a license, and then some of the typical things that follow the soft sit army. Anyway, we're expecting him to be in court. We will keep an eye on that and bring that to you when it happens, but it's not there yet. This other case, I'm not sure exactly what it is
The gentleman did.
that's going on.
Gentleman did what?
That almost went over my husband.
Spat on your husband's face. Okay.
Spat on your husband's
At what
face.
point did he do that?
when he was exchanging words with him, and when I saw that some interaction was happening, I got out of the car. So that had already happened.
Okay, so you saw your spittle on your husband's face and you gave him a Clorox to wipe it off.
Yeah.
Then what happened?
Then at some point, my husband said, he almost ran me over. And I said, I know, I saw that. And I was helping him, wiping everything off. And to me, I had the phone, I should have been videoing everything, but I didn't. Then a gentleman came out of Kroger as we were, and then my husband said, I'm gonna call the police. So he decided to call the police at that time.
Okay, they said the gentleman came out of Kroger. Was that the same gentleman that went into Kroger? And when your husband said he was gonna call the police, was that before or after the gentleman appeared coming out of Kroger?
I think the gentleman came out and exchanged more words with my husband, and then he said, I'm gonna call the police right now. I'm calling the police.
Okay.
And then the gentleman said, go ahead, you call the police.
Okay.
And then he got into his car, slammed the door, decided to back out.
Who did that?
The gentleman.
Okay. Now, where were you and your husband at the time that he got back into his car and began to back out?
We were on the driver's side of his car because there was not a car parked on the driver's side of his car. And then my husband said, no, you can't. Yes, dumb. He was dumb. He actually went behind the gentleman's car and tried to stop him, thinking that if he stood there, he would not back out.
He did not.
But no, the gentleman put it in reverse and then proceeded to back up quickly.
Okay.
So then he had to jump out of the way.
Okay.
He being your
My
husband.
husband, yes.
Okay, then what happened?
Then the gentleman in the car that almost ran my husband over decided, I said, honey, you got to move out of the way. He decided to drive and swerve, almost hit my husband.
Now, you said your husband was behind the car
Yes.
and had to back out of the way when the man backed up.
So now we're on the left side of his car,
Okay.
right? So he backs up and then he decides to intentionally making it look like.
Objection, that's intentional. I'll sustain the objection, but you can tell us what you saw.
And what did you see? Bill, what did you see?
Then my husband had to swerve out of the way and kind of bumped him on his head.
When the man backed out and began to go forward again, how would you describe the movement of the car? Okay. Okay.
He sped out of the parking lot.
Okay. Now, have you yourself ever seen a video of that incident during the police investigation? Okay. I wonder if I could show you. This I need a few moments to set up, Your Honor. People's proposed exhibit number 1.
All right.
Removing all my makeup.
My tech is way low.
Okay, that's fine.
So we're going to use this computer. Yes.
Oh, these are actually bathing wipes. Work great when you're out camping in the middle of the woods.
HDMI
to
cord,
clean your hands
that
before you
is,
hold
that's
your equipment.
underneath. Look,
Barely, yeah.
Changing lenses and microphones.
let us know when you're ready, and then we can switch it over so it'll be on the screen.
Let me help you.
Oh, there you are. Thank you.
Okay. I don't know where this is going.
No, it's okay. Like,
What's
there's
the-
like 30 people in here. She is the only one kind enough to come up and help. There are 30 people that know. You want me to point at them?
Miss Weidling, can I have?
I did warn your staff that I am going to be slow at this
Miss
point.
Weidling, can I have a copy of this record where the court called me kind, please? Thank you so much.
Motion to strike, granted.
Anyway, we're going to come back to Judge Simpson, maybe with a little bit of a sob set if Mr. Magoo makes an appearance. He wasn't to the morning block. We watched all morning for that. He was slated for 9 o'clock, so Judge Simpson usually likes to take the soft sets that he knows, the people that are going to just really get under his skin, and put him at the end of the block, so it doesn't make him in a bad mood for everybody else that's in the block. So, yeah, I realized what I said as soon as I said that. Thanks, Greeners, Warrior Queen, for pointing that out. Is the train wreck over? It is not. We're just at lunch. We're going to be on lunch for about an hour, and we'll be back. Let's see. They moved him to noon. Josh, good to know. So is this the block? We're not. This month we're 1 o'clock. It should be in his noon block. Oh man, hang on. There's video.
People's proposed exhibit number 1 on the screen.
We've got Kroger's video. Stop. I got to see this. Kroger's is a grocery store. I think it's synonymous with Smith's, Associated Foods, sort of like Food Lion, that style of grocery store. Piggly Wiggly, maybe Publix. Not really Trader Joe's. Judge is getting a good look at this.
So you had a chance to look at the video so far?
Yeah.
And did you look at the far left of the video?
Yes.
Did you see a car?
Yes.
Did you recognize that car?
Yes.
How did you what did you recognize it as?
That's the car that went right for my.
Okay, that's the car we're talking about that you claim was involved with your husband.
Yes.
It was on the left of the video as we're looking at the screen. Okay. Okay.
Wait for it. We're just trying all the options on the menu for some reason. Just click all the buttons, see what happens. Judge is not impressed. Waiting for something to happen. It's not happening.
Okay, we're playing the tape again.
Watch the top left. I guess there's a car up there we're watching.
Is that him?
Mm-hmm. Is that him?
So did you see a person running across the screen?
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay.
And do you know who that was?
Yes, it was John. I think that tried to.
So that was the gentleman you think was involved with interacting with you and your husband. Okay. Let's go again.
He's running back and forth.
It just falls back. Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Looks like he got back in his car. Nope, now he's coming back out. Forgot his wallet. How can you buy Mountain Dew?
Did you see a few minutes ago the gentleman running back again? Was that the same gentleman?
Yes.
Okay.
You want me to fast forward a little bit?
No. So.
Look up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let me see.
Well, we're watching this. I am setting up the portal to take us to our after lunch live stream.
We see a white car with the taillights on. Is that the car that we're talking about? Okay. Did you?
He's in the store, so I'll have to walk back.
He's not in the store.
He is in the store.
Oh, I think it's in the store. Okay.
No. He was in the store for a couple minutes.
Okay.
We're going to watch people shop for a couple minutes. Or at least, let's guess what people have in their bags as they leave the store. I think that guy had dry cleaning, honestly. So that would indicate it probably is a strip mall. Because most grocery stores don't do dry cleaning. Okay. What can we ascertain? We've got jackets on. This probably happened, I'm thinking last winter or fall. We do have some leaves on the trees.
Fast forwarding a little bit.
Don't do that. We're losing clues when you do that.
And him again?
That's him again. He keeps running back in the store. How many times has the guy run in? Oh, this lady just appeared out of nowhere. That car's speeding. Careful. Kids shop here. More cars pulling in that same parking space on the top left.
Yep. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it. The lawyer's like,
I didn't see it. Did you see it? Did you see your husband get hit?
did we miss it already? It already
Let me
happened.
back that up just one moment. See that again.
Think the incident?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I just sent it
Maybe
back.
just did because the white truck pulled in. I see.
So that's the her husband that was just behind the pillar.
Can you get a little closer?
I
I'm trying to see if we can.
Oh, yeah.
Is that your husband's voice?
Yes.
Okay. Is it?
I don't know how
Is that
to-
enough, Your Honor?
Yes.
I saw it. Do you guys see it?
What happened after? I guess I have a lot of more questions. What happened after that? After your husband went out, what happened after that?
He fell
Well,
down.
because he's trying to get out of the way of a car that's trying to run him over.
Objection.
So he,
Cop sustained.
What happened
Part of her.
between the two of you then after the car?
he got up, I helped him up. Then we waited for the police to come. And another gentleman came who happened to be a witness.
Okay, okay. Now, he was in the store for a couple of minutes, was he not? So what were you and your husband doing during that time?
He was talking to the police.
Okay, on the phone or in
Yes.
person? Okay. And did he give the police the license plate from the car?
I believe, yes, I believe he took
Okay.
a picture.
And
Oh,
now
I'm
we're
not
done.
sure.
Now we're done. It's time for lunch. I'm sorry. We'll have more exciting stuff to watch in a minute, but it happens in a tiny corner of the video and behind the pillar as well. So you have to use your X-ray vision to see what actually happened. But we're going to be going to lunch, so everyone gets a chance to have something delicious to eat, get some sustenance to carry them through the afternoon session, as gripping as it may be. I think the state is nearing the end of their case. We've got investigators on the stand. We're at the bottom of the barrel when it comes to witnesses. I do think this is going to be wrapping up here in the next 24 hours. I don't know when Donna Adelson is going to be ready to go, but the judge basically said as soon as we have a jury, we start. So we are sort of on standby for that. We know they just finished the first round of juror questions. I think they probably have a pool big enough they think they could seat a jury from, but there will be more rounds there at lunch right now as well. So obviously not yet. But we'll be going to Donna when that starts, and then we'll probably, I know, we're going to follow everything all at the same time. It's a good day. It's a good day. I'm going to go have some of Mrs. R.A.'s delicious homemade wheat bread. Hopefully I'll eat as much as I can without her getting in trouble, without me getting in trouble, because apparently the kids ate 3 loaves yesterday and I had 1 slice. So I should get at least a loaf to myself today if she'll let me. So we'll be back in a little bit. We have a portal set up, so all you have to do is sit tight, keep your hands and feet inside the right at all times, and it will be transported to our next live stream. It'll keep us entertained and informed throughout the afternoon. Tonight when you go home, please hug the people you love. Smile at someone. Make their day just a little bit better, and please stay safe till we go live again in about half an hour. That's all we get. Half an hour. Make it quick. Grab some food and get back here. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Have a good one. Bye.